Hello everyone, how's everyone doing today? Welcome, welcome. Hey Corax, how's it going? Is your stone dog? Hello, hello. Mr. Duck Sauce redeems a hydrate. I can do that. I am thirsty. And we're back for another Sovereign Citizen Watch. How's everyone doing? Hope you're having a good day. It is another extra long stream, as I had to miss a few extra days earlier this month. We're doing some long streams. Today we're going for at least 4 hours, and then tomorrow we are doing a special extra long all-day tinfoil, probably around from noon to 8, maybe 7, depending on how things go. But, yeah, we're gonna do like an all-day tinfoil tomorrow since I missed it on Tuesday, so get excited for that. If you missed yesterday's stream, we also are doing a special promotion for the costume month. If we finish the costume month goal by this Sunday evening, we get 2 costume months for the price of 1. If we happen not to, all of the donations, the tips from yesterday through Sunday will still be doubled. So we will get a costume month either way when this is done. But if you want 2 for 1, you gotta finish this up. That's for some medical expenses I have coming up. I have to make an appointment with Planned Parenthood to get my hormones renewed. I used to get them through a different doctor, but I don't have that doctor anymore. So that'll cost a couple $100. And I had another doctor thing to get my antidepressants that cost a couple $100 that just happened. So yeah, that's that. With housekeeping out of the way, we have tons of Sovereign Citizen stuff to look at today, which I am very excited for. So let's go ahead and jump into it right after I read messages and stuff. Piradona, thank you so much for gifting a sub to Bonkle Fox Sarah. And I think that catches us up. I did the hydrate. Days of Proxy says, threw my ballot in the mailbox an hour ago. Thank you so much for voting. I appreciate it. Make sure everyone, if you're not registered to vote, make sure you do, and make sure you vote. Which one is Ethan? Ethan is a meme stock person who is also a Sovereign Citizen that Corax has covered. Any window breaks today? I'm actually not sure. I know this guy gets pulled out. I don't think his window gets broken, though. Hey Argos, thank you so much for 49 months, says, thanks for 49 awesome months and keeping my brain entertained while I work on an endless nutcracker costume. Is that your just Sisyphean task? You finish the costumes and then they're all shredded and you have to start again. Alright, so let's get into this first video. This one's pretty short, it's about 5 minutes. This guy gets pulled out very quick.
Hey, I'm Deputy Dorsey, Flag Gun Sheriff's Office, your license, registration, insurance.
What's that?
I'm Deputy Dorsey, Flag Gun Sheriff's Office, your license, registration, and insurance.
Well, why am I being pulled over?
Your tag's expired.
Okay. Can you just write me a ticket?
And your license, registration, and insurance, sir.
I'm not driving, I'm traveling. Can you just write the
I
ticket?
think Marcel will show up in chat again. Did he get banned? I might have banned him, or someone else might have. It was just a 24-hour ban, then maybe he will. I'm not sure, though. If he shows up today, at least it's appropriate thematically, you know? Yesterday, I kept getting sidetracked by him, and it was Chud Watch. This eye keeps watering. All the time. Anytime I either, like, bend my head down, or when I eat, this eye waters. I don't know, medical things. That's weird.
And I'll be on my way.
No, I need your license, registration, and insurance.
I'm not driving.
Failure to exhibit DL upon demand is criminal.
Excuse me?
Failure to exhibit DL upon demand is criminal.
This is a crime?
If you
He just said it's criminal. So yes.
don't exhibit your
committed
DL
a
upon
crime?
demand, when stopped by a law enforcement officer on a traffic stop, you are
gonna arrest me
detained.
then?
Are you going to give me your license?
I'm not. I'm not driving. Are you gonna arrest me? Am I
Can you
under
step out of your
arrest?
vehicle for me?
No. Am I under arrest?
Charlie 213.
I'm not familiar, Garby the cat.
Raining.
Marcel is also a chud, but he's mostly a Sovsit.
1069, code 2, reference non-compliant operator. 54 for now. He's just recording me with his window up and won't identify. Can't hear you. I can't hear you. Your window's up. I can't hear you. Huh?
Sounds like he's not even trying to be louder. That's kind of funny. Does he think that's gonna get him out of this? Like, if I just talk quietly with the window closed, the officer will give up. Like, that's not how this works.
I can't hear you. Huh? Sir, can you give me your license? Can you give me your license? Can you step out of the vehicle for me? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Can you step out of your vehicle for me?
Casually putting the gloves on, preparing to probably smash the window.
Huh? I can't hear you.
Oh, it doesn't look like there's a smash. He opens the door, I guess.
I can't hear you. I cannot hear you. Can you at least crack your window? How can I write you a ticket without your license? I can barely...
Sassy P, thank you so much for a $99 super chat. Thank you. Hi, hello to you as well, Sassy P. Thank you so much for that incredible super chat.
hear you.
Whew.
Can you roll down your window for me? Can you roll down your window for me? Can you roll down your window for me, sir? I cannot hear you. Can you at least crack it? At least crack it so I can talk to you?
He's trying so hard.
Can you step out of the vehicle for
I appreciate that the cop is like trying continuously to get this guy to open his window before it gets difficult. Air Fairy, thanks for following.
Sir, can you step out of the vehicle for me? I cannot hear you. You need to roll down the window, open the door or something.
What are you doing touching my vehicle? What are you doing? I do not consent to any of this. Ow! I'm belted in. I'm belted in. My hands are here. It's legal.
Out of the vehicle. On the ground.
What are you doing? Help! 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 Help!
I find the yelling for help thing interesting. What does he expect people to do in this scenario? Like, if he was actually being mishandled by the police, people could come and film. That's about it, right?
Help! Help me! Help me! Help me! Help me! Help me! Help me! I'm not resisting! Help me! 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 Help! Help me! Help me! Help me!
Oh, I'll have to check that out, Jay's a proxy. Yeah, Dead Domain's been doing a great job with those interviews.
Help me! Help me! I haven't done anything! Help me! Help me!
This is actually a case where doing nothing is bad because you were required to produce a license and you didn't.
Roll to your side.
So I would agree you did nothing in a situation where you were required to do something.
Help me! Help me!
We're gonna stand you up, all right?
This hurts!
We're gonna stand
This
you up. all right?
hurts!
Ready?
I do not consent to any of this!
All right, you're being placed under arrest, okay?
What for? My glasses?
I'll let you know in a second, all right? We're going back here to my car.
My
Left side.
glasses!
Left side.
What is this? What is this? You have to tell me what I've done.
I'll tell you in a second,
What
all
have I
right?
done? What have I done?
You feel to exhibit your deal upon demand, that is resisting, okay?
I didn't resist anything. I didn't resist anything. I do not consent to any searches or seizures. Are your body cameras on?
Yes, sir, they are. You're being placed under arrest.
For what?
And upon being
For
placed
what?
under arrest, you are subject to search before entering my vehicle.
Where are my rights? Why have you not read me my rights?
I don't have to, sir.
M. Scheffler says, break out that tip link,
I'm not
girl.
questioning you about the crime. It's in the
What?
vehicle.
What are you talking about?
There
What
it
are you
is.
talking about?
All right. You're being placed under arrest, okay? For resisting, okay?
Resisting what?
I lawfully stopped at a
Resisting
traffic
what?
stop. I asked you for ID. You failed to exhibit. You
Resisting
then rolled
what?
up your window.
Is that a
okay?
crime?
Yes, it is.
Is that what crime?
Resisting.
What crime? What
All right,
crime is that?
watch your leg.
What law is broken? What law is broken? Where are you taking? Where are you taking?
Hey, Dark Wolf. Glad you can make it.
Am I under arrest?
You're going to jail.
For what? For what?
Where's this?
How can you ask for what after that?
What?
Yeesh. Alright, is it time? Do we need to unfortunately slip into the Marcel segment? This is a 30-minute video. I don't know how far into this we're gonna get. Reminder on the strike policy. Slurs are strikes. Just being homophobic in and of itself isn't a strike. Anytime he says a slur, which I don't know if he does, but we know Marcel, if he does, it's a strike. Okay. This is gonna be racist and incredibly queer-phobic, so just prepare yourself for that. He filmed this, I believe, after or right before he came and talked on stream. So I don't know if this is him being mad at me, and just deciding to go on a weird tirade, or what. But here we go.
Hi everybody. So today's a very important video. I'm taking Peacemaker Society in a slightly different direction.
I have to turn him up.
We are launching into full sovereign empire.
We're launching into full sovereign empire. He's missing the cape, but the vibes are there.
So within that, I've made the decision that we are going to be a straight pride community.
Marcel is starting a straight pride community. We did it!
Gay people will not be allowed in Peacemaker Society. If you identify gay or trans or alphabet people or any of that, not welcome.
On behalf of what you call, quote, alphabet people, thank you. I appreciate you excluding us from this strange circus that you call an organization. Enjoy your society, friend.
You have every right to be who you are, but we have the right to our own standards as well. And I'm going to talk in this video about how I'm a white man. Going forward, it will only be white men who are in management in Peacemaker Society, privatelawtrust.org, or Sovereign Empire. Our schools and that will teach anyone who wants to learn their freedom how to found your own society to protect your own community values, but I am going to protect mine.
Okay then, so only white men are allowed in his club. Cool beans. Scheffler, M. Scheffler, thank you so much for the $25 tip, says get those meds. I'll do my best. We're $185 away from our goal. Brain Injured Gamer with 100 bits says, I'm eternally disappointed that none of the Sovseds watch channels use Bart Simpson's Smashy Smashy clip just before the class breaks. And Artemis8192 with 100 bits says, hey Hannah, just called in sick to work. Perfect timing to help me feel better from how definitely sick and not lying I am. I hope you enjoy your day off. If you need to call in, you need to call in. Sometimes you need a mental health day, and that's okay. Anonymous, thanks for gifting a sub to Demibird Does, and kicking off a hype train, 46% to level 1.
So I am French and English
Ryan Cooper says, I'm a straight cis white man. Can I be an honorary alphabet person so I can avoid being potentially represented by this? Absolutely. You get a little stamp on your hand, and for the duration of this bit, you can be honorary. Nemesaur, thank you for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Puka, thanks for 250 bits.
I'm a Middleton and a Bassett by birth and blood. I like the culture that I grew up with as a white man in a white family in the 80s and 90s. I was born September of 79. And I know you're going to say, oh, that sounds racist coming from me. I'm going to put on Muhammad Ali. We're also going to hear what Andrew Tate has to say.
And as we all know, Andrew Tate cannot be racist.
So you're going to hear from black people why it's important to preserve your own culture and your own color. Now, in my work, I do teach that we are all mankind and womankind. I believe that's true. But if you look at different colors, it's obviously whatever alien...
Oh, this is real bad what he's about to say. I know I gave a general warning for the racism prior to the video starting. I need to give another secondary layer, like we're in a vault, like we're in a safety deposit box within a vault. Okay, this is the safety deposit box within the vault warning. What he is about to say is so fucking racist, I don't even know what to do with it. So, ew.
Your own culture and your own color. Now, in my work, I do teach that we are all mankind and womankind. I believe that's true. But if you look at different colors, it's obviously whatever aliens or God or whoever spliced our genetic DNA and our soul and what we are into animals, we clearly come from different species of animals. Black people look more like apes. White people look more like orangutans, certain types of monkeys.
None of that is true. None of that's true. That's just all racism, like straight up KKK shit mixed with alien conspiracy theories. This is alien conspiracy theory, gene editing, animal, human racism. And you know, every day I wake up and discover new horrifying ideas other human beings have and post on the internet freely, even though they didn't have to. And this is up there. This is like top 10 in terms of worst.
Asian people look a certain way as well. So there is a difference genetically, and there is a difference in community standards. So within that, I have a shirt from White Men Can't Jump the movie, and I like that movie because it shows where black people are really cool, really talented, all of that. White people can be too, but we don't care as much about looking cool or if we get the glory of it. As long as we organize things to the point we win, we're happy, even if we look like a fool. And that kind of ties into some of my work where I've lowered myself to make a point with other people. But I'm going to get into it.
Is that how you're trying to explain your use of racial slurs, Marcel? Is like, I don't care if I look like a fool, which is an understatement when you say racist shit like all the stuff you say. Beyond foolish. But you think that's an avenue towards some hypothetical win? It's not. You just sound like an asshole. You just sound like an ignorant, racist person who has no idea how other people work. Stone Gorbell, thanks for 52 months. Ooh, that's a lot of months. Thank you very much. 33%. Level 3, I think, with a minute left.
I'm getting into it right now with Kellyanne Wolf from the Canadian...
I know he mentioned White Men Can't Jump. I've never seen the movie, so I can't speak to it at all.
Democratic Defense Association. I told Sipico, the clan mother in Winnipeg, to go fuck herself. We bought them firewood. I invited them over many times to help them organize administratively who and what they are. Her people just come over and insult me. I didn't enjoy the experience. I've asked for an interview with her to promote her many times. She's never come through on that in like a year. But more than happy to take our money when it's time for firewood and stuff. And I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of First Nations expecting handouts and not giving anything back.
Are you fucking kidding me? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Did Marcel just imply that First Nations people are greedy and take things without consideration? Holy shit. I don't even know what to do with that claim. It's so reverso backwards. What are we doing here, Marcel? Why is this your grievance hour? Amber Pretzel says, bruh. No kidding, bruh. Fucking bruh.
I've worked with a number of First Nations chiefs that don't pay their fucking bills. They hire us. Joshua Lemons didn't pay his fucking bill.
Have you considered that you don't actually provide the services you claim? Bummel Homestead with a $5 tip says, early voting starts here on Monday. Definitely taking my kid with me this time as she'll be old enough to vote in the next election. Mild existential crisis about that one. That's good. That's a good thing to do with your kids, is to take them when you go vote so it's less intimidating when they get old enough so they know the process. I think that's a really good thing to do. M. Scheffler says it's sad that people can be so separated from family and friends, often by their own actions or mental illness, that they have no one to help them to return to reality. Oh yeah, it sucks. Overthought says they're literally first, as in here before you. It's in the name. Thank you for the hype train, everyone.
4 months, he's like, oh, we ran out of money. Oh, well. Well, fuck you, Joshua. Suck my fucking dick. You just stole from me, you fucking prairie nigger. Fuck.
Damn it! That's gotta count for all three! So that's how Marcel is doing. That's a strike 3. All in one. Thanks, Marcel. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of the internet and what it's wrought upon all of us. Let's move on to other sovereign citizens who aren't gonna use terrible fucking language because they have problems, shall we? Where's his YouTube channel? I think it's Peacemaker Society is the name of it. Something like that. No, that was his old one. What is his new one? I don't remember, but that was on his Rumble account, and Rumble doesn't care about stuff like that. Yeah, that's a strikeout. Alright, let's do some court stuff.
Just waiting for him to get his audio connected. All right, Mr. Matson's audio is connected now, so we are on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Robert Joseph Matson, file number 21-20513-FH. Today's the date set for sentencing in this matter. We are proceeding today.
Wearing a hat and a mask. Like, I know he might be in public, and I think this is from a while ago. This one's probably more during the pandemic, so it makes sense a little bit if he's in public wearing a mask. But you certainly can't wear a hat in Zoom court.
Partially by video conference and partially in person. Mr. Daly is here in person. Mr. Daly, would you like to place your appearance on the record?
James Daly, appearing on behalf of Mr. Matson.
And we also have Mr. Stevenson with us from the Michigan Department of Corrections. And sir, you are Robert Joseph Matson, correct?
I can't believe he's letting him go on with the hat on. Again, I understand the mask. It's during the pandemic, so like it looks like he's maybe in public. He might be somewhere to use the Wi-Fi. I don't know. Understand the mask. Hat. Can't believe the judge is going forward with the hat. I've never seen a judge be cool with someone wearing a hat, even on Zoom court.
Hello. I'm a living flesh and blood man.
MH Dark Beast, what is that from? Is that from the Ghostbusters cartoon? It looks familiar. It's obviously a Freddy pastiche. What is that from? It looks so familiar. Hydrate. I can do that.
Attorney for a public officer or statutory citizen judge. I'm a living flesh and blood man.
All right, you are the living flesh and blood man who's known as Robert.
X-Force says, quick question, at what time of day is it no longer considered day drinking? 5 p.m. 5 p.m.
Robert Matson, correct?
If it's a weekend, 3:30.
Attorney for
Don't ask me, though. I'm a recovered alcoholic. I don't drink anymore, so I'm probably not the right person to ask.
Robert Joseph Matson, which would be the all caps name.
Good morning.
Judge, there was something that I tried to talk to my attorney about. That before you let me out of the hospital, I was in the hospital or the jail. I was experiencing a lot of pain and trouble.
Yeah.
The jail was not.
I think we don't see the living man anymore because he kind of doesn't live up to his name. No, I think he died. Which is unfortunate, because as much of a problem as he wasn't, like, trying to hurt anyone. He was just kind of a crotchety mountain man that didn't have respect for, like, poaching laws, because he literally, like, hunted for his food, which you shouldn't do. Poaching is poaching, but, like, I get that he wasn't, like, wiping out a species or anything. It was a crotchety old man who didn't want to live in society, living in the woods, basically.
After I got out of the jail, I went to the hospital, and they hurried and rushed me to Toledo Hospital, where I almost died. Had I not been released from jail when I did, I would be dead in that county jail.
All right, Mr. Matson, we're here for your sentencing hearing today. I'm not really able to address issues of medical treatment while at the jail.
Well, I was just saying that there was
Mr.
something I
Matson,
agreed
Mr.
to.
Matson,
Yes.
Mr. Matson, don't interrupt me, please. The medical treatment that people receive at the jail is not within my purview, and I'm not going to address that today. So,
Well, I was just saying I was under duress when
Mr.
I
Matson,
talked
Mr.
to you.
Matson, do not interrupt me, please. Have you had an opportunity to read and review your pre-sentence report?
I did with the secretary for Mr. Daly.
Have you had an opportunity to discuss your pre-sentence report with Mr. Daly?
I haven't had an opportunity to discuss it with him. I did with the secretary.
My secretary got a hold of
Mr.
him.
Daly, if you could just let me allow him to finish his answer. What were you saying, Mr. Matson?
I did with the secretary. I talked to her over the phone and told her everything looked good. And I believe Mr. Daly was supposed to get back a hold of me. I don't know if he got too busy or something else happened.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Matson. Mr. Daly, you wanted to say something on that issue.
Yes, my secretary.
This poor lawyer. I've seen this lawyer in particular many times on Sovereign Citizen Watch. It feels like he always gets stuck dealing with sovereign citizens. The guy in the top right. He's all over this stuff, and he always looks so tired.
I contacted him in regards to the PSI. He said everything was right. He had no complaints about anything. I still tried to contact him back, didn't get an answer.
All right. So what we'll do is if Mr. Daly, if you'd be willing to step out into the hallway, we have an iPad out there that we can log into the Zoom session.
But
And
I don't think he needs that. He's ready to be sentenced, yeah.
Yeah, he's a public defender.
You have any other questions, Mr. Matson?
Yeah, Judge, I think the court is making a big mistake here. I've not.
I appreciate that, Mr. Matson. And we've
I'm not
discussed
doing
it
any of my rights or immunities. I'm not a statutory citizen. I am sovereign. I'm not.
There it is, not a statutory citizen. So there's another one that thinks he can say, I'm not under your statutes. I operate under common law or natural law, whichever one they prefer. Miss Hire, thanks for a 3-stream streak, says Hannah's channel is like a magnet. I can't keep away. It must be repelling other people. Oh, by the way, I'm streaming in 1080p now. I didn't realize I was streaming in 720p. I've been streaming at 720p like forever, and I switched to settings, so now I should be streaming in full HD.
I've never signed anything to.
Mr. Matson,
don't know if anyone noticed.
if you don't stop talking, I'm going to your device. Okay? I've discussed all of these issues with you before.
Okay.
And
well, I object, but I mean,
Mr.
you're
Matson,
going to do.
all right.
Hey, Avalon of Babylon, how's it going?
I've muted Mr. Matson's device because he won't stop interrupting me. Mr. Matson, what I'm trying to tell you is that we have discussed these issues before. You've raised those issues. I've ruled against those issues. And ultimately, you pled guilty of your own choice to the controlled substance, possession of narcotic less than 25 grams. And so I'm going to sentence you on that charge today. If you'd like, I will have Mr. Daly step into the hall and you can have a breakout session with him so you can speak with him about your pre-sentence investigation report. If you have questions or things that you want to talk with him about regarding that report. So I'm going to unmute your device now, and I want you to tell me whether you want a breakout session with Mr. Daly or not.
How many sovereign citizens are Trump cultists? Fewer than you would think. There are some. I've certainly seen some. I've seen at least one pray to Trump as he was being arrested, which is an interesting clip. But not as many as you would think. A lot of them are very anti-government in general, so I've seen a certain number of them maybe express that they like Donald Trump over other politicians. I've seen some, like I said, that are actual Trump supporters, but a lot of them are so anti-government and like libertarian-minded, and I'm not even talking typical like right-wing libertarian. I mean like far-right, borderline wants a militia, doesn't like the government, doesn't want any federal government. So a lot of them don't like Trump because, again, he was the president, he's running for president, which is the highest office a single person can hold in federal government. So fewer than you would expect. Not none, but fewer than you would expect.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you now. You want a breakout session with Mr. Daly?
Well, I've tried to talk to Mr. Daly before, I mean,
Mr.
about this.
Matson,
And
answer my question. Do you
Yes,
want
sir.
a breakout session with Mr. Daly or not?
Your Honor, you're going to do what you're going to do. I mean, I've tried to talk to the courts and reason with the courts. I mean, if you're going to sentence me today, then I just file for an appeal. I'm an objection to anything that happens today.
You're gonna appeal your own guilty plea? That's interesting. That's an interesting strategy. You're going to plead guilty and accept a plea deal, and then when it goes through, you're gonna appeal the thing you agreed to. I don't think that's gonna work out. Our YouTube doesn't want to pause and start in a timely manner for me lately. It always does a little
I was under
buffery thing.
duress when I took the plea due to my life was at stake.
Mr. Matson, please answer my question. Do you want a breakout session with Mr. Daly or not?
Mr. Daly hasn't been much of help for me, Your Honor. So I mean,
That is not an answer to my question, Mr. Matson. Please answer the question. You want a breakout session with him or not?
I guess that's a no. Honk logic, thanks for following.
Sorry, Your Honor, it just ain't been doing me any help, no justice at all. I mean, I've already said what I had to say. If the courts is going to sentence me today, then that's what they're going to do. I don't agree with anything that's going on today. I'm sorry. My life was at stake when I had talked to the courts.
All right, Mr. Matson, please stop
Yes, sir.
talking. So you refuse to answer my question about whether you want a breakout session with Mr. Daly or not. The law.
Well, I didn't want
Mr.
Mr.
Matson,
Daly
stop
as my
talking.
attorney. Yes, sir.
The record, I placed Mr. Matson on mute again because he's continually interrupting me. Mr. Matson, what I'm trying to explain to you is that you have the right to discuss your pre-sentence report with your attorney before the sentencing. I've asked you 4, 5, maybe 6 times now whether you want to have the opportunity for that breakout session, and you won't give me a simple yes or no answer. So what I'm going to do right now is ask Mr. Daly to step into the hallway. We'll set up that iPad. I'm going to put you in a breakout session with Mr. Daly in order to make sure that I comply with with your rights to have that breakout session. So at this point, I'm going to set that up, whether you want it or not, so that we have complied with that requirement.
Judge, I just had a repeat of a conversation you already had. I'm prepared for sentencing.
All right, Mr. Matson, you've now had an opportunity to discuss the pre-sentence report with Mr. Daly. Is that correct?
No, he didn't want to hear me, Your Honor. He just told me that he was here to get me sentenced. I tried to talk to him about.
Welcome, Mog's emulation station.
I tried to
Glad
talk
you
to
can
him
make it.
before we even went to court about things that was going on with my life and me about dying, and as far as being incarcerated in jail, which he didn't ever try to help me out, because if he would have did an investigation and known that I was in court and I was wrongfully put in jail. I told him I'm not a statutory citizen. I'm a constitutional citizen. I mean, he don't care to do anything to help me. All he cares about is just helping you guys out and get me sucked into the system, and it's wrong.
I wish there was a way to communicate clearly to people who are very wrong that they are wrong. Like, I know you can say that, but they don't accept that. They always assume there's an ulterior motive. I wish there was something in language that you could express to them to say, like, no, really, this isn't about something that I'm trying to trick you. You are wrong, and we are trying to help you. You know what I mean? But, like, if you just say that, they don't believe it. I wish there was basically a button you could push where they'd believe you. I know that would just make everything easy if you could just make people believe whatever you wanted, but just frustrating. Oh my god, it's Marcel! I missed you! Marcel, we tried to watch your video earlier, but we had to stop because you used a slur. Stop using slurs. God.
All right, for the record,
Yeah, he's back in YouTube chat.
I did provide Mr. Matson with an opportunity to, with Mr. Daly in a breakout session. Mr. Matson.
Seriously though, you're on a short leash, Marcel. If you do slurs, we're banning you because I don't have time for it today. You've had so much of my attention, so be cordial enough. You can swear, just don't use slurs. Marcus Drake says the lack of self-control and self-awareness is endlessly fascinating, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Satisfied with Mr. Daly and the advice that he's given you?
I'm not satisfied with the advice he's giving me, no, sir.
Marcus Drake says the lack of self-control. Oh, I just read that. Sorry. Marcel says, FYI, all sovereign means is claiming God-given rights, acknowledgement of having a soul under God, being unregistered, unincorporated as legal system is corporate. No corporation can force contract. That's the problem, Marcel. The legal system is not corporate in the way you are describing. It is not a private entity for which you can voluntarily engage. It is not voluntary. You are a part of a society, whether you like it or not. And again, Marcel says, we're our own government. We're replacing legal systems, not suing it. You are not a government if no one else acknowledges it. And no one else acknowledges you. So you're not. Trey says, oh, Hannah, meant to tell you I almost had to bash my head through a wall because my coworker said, have you ever noticed that judges and necromancers tend to use the same kind of words? What does that mean? What does that mean? No, Marcel's on YouTube. His channel's name is Private Law Trusts.
Do you wish to explain or challenge the accuracy or the relevancy of any of the information that's in your pre-sentence report?
The stuff that's in the pre-sentence report is directed to a statutory citizen. I'm not a statutory citizen. I'm a constitutional citizen. You cannot be a constitutional person and a statutory person at the same time, Your Honor. It has to be constitutional rights, which the court's designed to protect rights. So I was asking you, Judge, are you working as a banker or a judge today?
Oh my God. Accusing your judge of being a banker is something. I feel like there's some sort of thinly veiled anti-Semitism in there somewhere.
I mean,
Gray says, after 45 minutes of talking, I realized he thought Latin was a magical language, basically. Oh my God. Well, there it is. Isn't it nice when you can come to an understanding of why someone misunderstands something and you go, oh, I understand what you're misunderstanding. That's funny.
there's nothing to show that there's even a, is there anything to show that there's even a contract between us? I mean, is there?
There doesn't need to be a contract. Court isn't voluntary.
Sure.
They're not a private entity. This has nothing to do with contract law.
This isn't a contract issue, Mr. Matson.
Well,
it's a criminal law
In order
issue.
for the
and
crime to exist, Your Honor,
judge
there must be
today.
an injured party. Is there an injured party? I mean, in the constitutional rights, share versus colon 481 F 945. In order for there to be
Oh, he's reading from a script. Phyllis Filler says Latin is magical because it requires supernatural abilities to understand all those cases.
crime, there ought to be an injured party. If there's no injured party, there's no crime.
Latin's a dead language, so it makes sense for necromancers. I'm a little upset at that one because it's pretty good.
All right,
I mean,
Mr. Matson, you're arguing the basis of your conviction. Again, you pled guilty to this charge. What I'm asking you is, what Mr. Matson, what I'm asking you is whether you'd wish to explain or challenge the accuracy or the relevancy of any of the information.
Hello, Bump. How's it going?
That is in your pre-sentence report. So, is any of that information inaccurate?
Inaccurate as far as the person.
How do Sovsit people play board games? Do they just invoke weirdness when things don't go their way? Nah, see, they've already contracted with the Monopoly man and agreed to the rules upon the beginning of the game, so that is a contract.
That the courts, they're trying to sentence in all caps names. And it's not me. I'm a living flesh and blood man. You're after a fictional person.
All right, so with respect to that argument, what the court will say is that I will leave the information that is in the pre-sentence report in the pre-sentence report and deny what seems to be some kind of a request to modify the pre-sentence report based on an argument that doesn't state any cognizable legal theory about a difference between Mr. Matson as a human being and Mr. Matson as something else. So
saying it's not cognizable as a legal theory is so generous.
Pre-sentence report was
There's nothing in this fucking report that justifies what he's saying, is what the judge just said.
Dan.
Well, Your Honor, you never even explained to me what the jurisdiction was. I tried from the beginning to
Mr.
see what the
Matson, all
jurisdiction
right.
of the court is.
I'm going to mute Mr. Matson again because he continues to interrupt me with a line of argument that I don't even know what to say about it. It just is, it's not a legal argument at all. It is
You're not even wrong.
some kind of fanciful belief that there's a difference between Mr. Matson, the human being, and Mr. Matson as some other.
I'm at a weird... I like this dress so much. It's so cute, but I've lost so much weight since I got it that it doesn't fit right anymore, and it makes me so sad.
Entity, which is not recognized by the law, and I'm not going to entertain it any further. Mr. Daly, does the pre-sentence report disclose any prior convictions in which there exist any known constitutional defects?
No, Your Honor.
The probation officers calculated the minimum sentencing guidelines in this case to be from 0 to 9 months. Do you agree with that computation of guidelines,
Your
Mr.
Honor.
Daly?
Did Marcel get timed out?
I do.
Thank you. Before the court passes sentence, Mr. Daly, is there anything you'd like to say on behalf of Mr. Matson?
Maybe Galaxy of Miscellaneous stuff. She's been really, really busy. I don't, I wouldn't ask that of her, right?
The same conversations with Mr. Matson the courts had. He's never wanted to talk about this case. He's always wanted to talk about what he perceived are constitutional issues. He pled guilty. He knew what he was doing. I do know that. I'm prepared to complete the sentencing now.
All right, Mr. Matson, in a moment, I'm going to unmute your microphone and I'm going to give you an opportunity for allocution. That's an opportunity to say anything that you'd like to say on your own behalf before the court passes sentence.
Yes, sir. Can you
All
hear
right,
me?
is there anything you'd like to say on your own behalf?
You said that. I can say anything that I wish before sentencing.
All right. Marcel, that's another, let's see. We're going to give you a 30-minute timeout. There you go. I don't know why I don't just ban him. I don't know. Maybe I crave attention. That's probably unhealthy.
Yeah.
On some level, do I crave antagonism? Is that healthy? No, it's not. It isn't. Yeah, here we are.
I'm sorry, sir.
You can.
Okay. Yeah, yes, sir. Your Honor.
R slur that time.
I mean, before I took that plea, I told Mr. Daly that I wanted to sit there. I wanted him to sit there, get the cameras for the courts to prove that I was at the court date the day that I was put in jail, and said that that I wasn't in the court for a contempt of court
No, I don't want to be someone who just milks lol cows. I understand. I'm not ignorant enough to think that that's an element of what I do, but like I find it so much more interesting the beliefs that these people hold. I don't want to antagonize anyone. I don't want to actively hurt people suffering from mental illness. I don't know.
He said, and I told him I wanted to fight my case, but I had to be out because I had medical issues. Mr. Daly said that's fine and all, but if you stay here and you fight this case, they'll keep you in here for a year fighting your case. You will not be let out of jail. Your Honor, I couldn't do that. I was in major pain. I would have died in that jail. My proof is within the doctor's records in the hospital. I have.
Yeah, let me say one more thing. It's a struggle too, because on the one hand, I understand that Marcel must have had a lot of stuff happen to him in his life that has caused some severe issues. And I know he's talked about being diagnosed with certain mental issues, which, you know, everyone deals with their own. I have my own. At the same time, he's so hateful, and he says so many mean things, and I know it gets under his skin that someone like me, a trans woman who he has no respect for, just on the internet blatantly calls out the fraud he's doing, and I know that must drive him crazy, and there's a level of satisfaction in that, but that's like a low-tier satisfaction. That's like a selfish lizard brain satisfaction, you know? I don't know.
Serious condition, which would have left me dead within a week from the time that I took the plea. The following day after I got up, my wife was killed in a car accident. Because everything's been going downhill for me ever since. And now this with the courts. I don't feel that I've had a fair chance with the courts.
It does make it easy, Mr. Duck Sauce, but I am the adult here, so I should be the one that draws the line. If Marcel comes back, I'm probably just going to ban him because I don't think it's healthy for me to get enjoyment out of the interaction, to be entirely honest.
Ever since I even started with the court, because the courts has not proven jurisdiction to me. I've not written any papers out agreeing in the contract saying that the courts can have any kind of jurisdiction over me. I have not relinquished any sovereign immunities that I have. I just don't feel like there's been anything fair, which is not going
I mean, he's commented on the channel many times. He just doesn't normally show up for the live streams.
to be within the court system. I mean, I've tried to say I'm not a statutory person who is within your jurisdiction.
Yeah, you can go ahead and ban him, Mr. Blast. Thank you.
If anything, I'd be considered constitutional, but I'm not even under the constitutional laws. But I will.
Marcel, if you're still watching, I will say one thing. I hope you end up doing better. I do. Regardless of how you feel about me, I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm not lying to you. The things you believe just aren't true. That's why I talk about it. That's it. Good luck.
Will use them if I feel necessary as a constitutional living flesh and blood man.
Holy crap. Mog's emulation station says, with I think a $200 super chat, says, darn, I meant to donate these $200 to Marcel for his insightful and valuable legal services, yet his spamming the word loser caused me to click on a different icon. That I have had the time to edit this message to an amazing lady is totally irrelevant, and I do not overstand. Holy shit. Marcel just made me a lot of money in a super chat. Thank you so much, Mog's emulation station. That's so generous of you. Whew. Good day for super chats, apparently. See, the interaction was worth it. Thanks, Marcel. I want to play the video.
There is no injured party. The only injured party would be the state's laws, which the state cannot be the prosecutor, the injured party, and the judge. As nothing's right. The court case either had been dismissed or moved to a higher court. And I wasn't going to sit there and be left in jail to fight my case for a year. I would have been dead. I'd been stupid not to sit there and just agree with a plea that I didn't even agree with in the first place, just to save my life. I don't think that's fair. at all. It's not right. There's nothing but wrong here. It's injustice, not justice. I mean, the requirement for equal protection, I mean, treatment. I mean, there's form 05.0333 for terms of binding you and me together, Judge. There's nothing even sitting there stating that. I mean,
how do you get this far into a court case with this much SOVSIT stuff and you don't get a competency hearing?
time
I guess he's not his own lawyer. That probably helped him.
to get my own paperwork together due to the hospital.
Why are they just letting him talk? This is his portion where he is allowed to talk prior to sentencing and talk about mitigating circumstances or if he's remorseful, stuff like that. Rick M, what do you want me to look up for the Black's Law Dictionary request?
When I logged into their system, because my Wi-Fi wasn't working properly on my computer, I couldn't draw up my own paperwork. I've been in nothing but severe.
Oh, well, thank you, Mog's Emulation Station. Yeah, he's an interesting character. Yes.
Pain. I've been able to move around and do much of anything for myself. I mean, I just don't feel that anything here is being done today is right, and it's not. It's not.
Page 361, definition 3. Okay. Three 61 definition 3. Oh! Deathsman, the executioner, hangman, person that executes capital punishment, deathsman. That's pretty good. If anyone's writing any D&D stuff, deathsman is a good title for something. I don't know what it would be for, but the deathsman. Pretty good. Death Trap is next. Death Trap, a structure or situation involving imminent risk of death or place apparently safe but actually very dangerous to live. That's a good one. Death Trap. Got a bonus one. You're welcome. Deathsmith. Deathsmith's pretty good. How did the cheese meat hand go over? Really well. People enjoyed it. The Barbie platter won, though. And I don't blame him. It was a good platter.
Within the Constitutional or the Bill of Rights, it's common law would permit. And if I ask you if you're working under the oath of office or as baker, you don't answer that. You don't tell me which jurisdiction we're under. I mean, these are all important things. I mean, for me to even provide an intelligent argument for myself, I have to know these things. It's guaranteed in the Constitution. I didn't even ask for this attorney. You assume that I didn't know the laws and that I needed an attorney. The attorney
That's a good assumption to make.
Has done
about any non-lawyer.
Nothing for me but sit there and try to feed me to the system. The only system that I know is God and God's laws, Judge. If I sit there and swear an oath, because I've never taken an oath to any governmental laws. I'm not a public officer. The only one I've ever taken an oath to is God Almighty himself. There's only one lawgiver, one creator, one judge. That's God Almighty. That's who I recognize. For me to sit.
The Bible says to obey earthly laws. Why? Do you seriously think that if there was a deity that ruled the universe, that they would have no care for, like, earthly law? Like, if they cared enough to be personally involved in your life and society and humanity, presumably they would understand the concept of a legal system.
There and
because Calvinism.
Agree to anything more than that.
In fairness, if it is Calvinism, this isn't his fault. He had to do it, so.
Would be me sitting there violating the laws of my God.
All right. In determining the appropriate sentence in this case, the court has...
I have. Mog asks, genuine question, have you changed up your makeup selection and hair care routine? I've been turbo busy with work for 5 to 6 months. Haven't had time for either VODs or streams. You're looking great. I have. I think I'm doing a little better with hair stuff. Also, it's fall. In the summer, my hair is a real struggle because it gets dry really easy, so when it's already warm and dry out, it gets real bad. So winter and fall help with my hair situation, and yeah, I think I've gotten newer makeup, and I've just gotten better at it.
Has considered the seriousness of your offense, your history, the principle of proportionality, the statutory penalty, the cost of confinement, the report and recommendation of the probation department, as well as what's been said on the record here this morning. The criteria and reasons for the sentence.
I'm sorry, Zonla.
So the nature and gravity of the offense, the discipline appropriate to its commission, deterrence against repetition by you.
He's still watching? That's fine.
And by
I'm just gonna ignore him. It's the best thing to do. I will cover his content when applicable, so I really need to go through it and bleep it. But I'm done taking time actually interacting with the guy.
Others.
It's not fruitful for either of us.
Communication for the law and the protection of society. As indicated, with respect to these sovereign citizen or whatever the other arguments you're making are, we've dealt with the jurisdiction issue in the past. I've ruled on that on at least one occasion, probably multiple.
Yeah, he's blocked from chatting. You can't block people from watching you on YouTube.
Multiple occasions.
And even if he did, you could incognito tab it. There's nothing you can do to stop people from watching you.
And that ruling's not going to change. You will have appellate rights if you want to pursue those. You're welcome to do that, but you have pled guilty in this case. You indicated during your guilty plea that you were not under any threats or promises or anything like that. And you indicated that it was your own choice to plead guilty. So the court's going to proceed with sentencing in this matter. The recommendation from your probation officer is
Thanks, Phoenix.
that you serve 1 year of probation with credit for...
Wait, this was all over a year of probation? I thought he was gonna go to jail for like at least 5 years. He spent this much time and it's a year of probation? Oh my god. This is such a waste of everyone's time.
29 days that you've served on this case. And that is, I think under normal circumstances, that would be an adequate recommendation with, he's gone.
Oh, good. Hang up on the judge. That'll go well. Yikerinos.
All right, we will, I'll give him a minute or two to see if he logs back in.
Minor drug charge? Yeah, and I think he's
I'm not
gonna,
exactly sure when he
gonna
dropped
turn this into a bigger issue.
out of the meeting.
Yeah, he would have gotten pretty decent with the plea, but now that he's doing this, I don't even know if he's gonna let the plea deal go through. You don't ghost a judge.
And I have no idea if it was something he did on his own or if it was a connection issue. So we'll give him a couple minutes.
He doesn't show back up. Some people just really are their own worst enemies, aren't they? That's a shame. Alright, let's do another traffic stop.
On December 18th, 2022, officers conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle for failing to display registration.
Does it? Can I open up the door? Hello.
Good morning. How are you today?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm excellent as always.
What was that?
I am excellent as always.
I'm Corporal Golf Shotgun, Sheriff's Officer. The reason I stopped you is the trailer doesn't have a tag,
Hey, Amber, how's it going?
and it doesn't appear the lights are working on it.
It's not working, the light?
No.
Yeah.
All right, do you have your driver's license with you?
I don't have a driver's license.
No.
Don't have a driver's license. Not only are you driving, you're hauling something. Oh boy.
You have a supervisor?
I am a supervisor.
Fantastic.
Okay.
I accept your oath and bond and bind you to them.
Well, I appreciate
I accept your oath and bond.
Supervisor.
Fantastic.
Okay.
I accept your oath and bond and bind you to them.
Well, I appreciate that.
That's interesting. At least he's being pleasant. It's kind of faux pleasantry, but he's doing something.
Okay, do you have a name or anything to identify yourself?
I'm not.
No? Okay. So, I'm assuming you're a sovereign citizen?
Not really the citizen.
Not citizen, okay. Okay.
So I like when they take umbrage with the specific title, even though, like, yeah, it's the colloquial thing. I understand you might consider yourself a state national or a state citizen or a non-citizen state national, whatever you want to call it. You're being a sovereign citizen. We get what you mean.
So you don't have any registration paperwork, anything like that? No? Okay.
Peaceful traveler, not religion.
No, I believe that. You seem pretty cool with me, so I'm going to be cool with you, okay? I'm just going to run your VIN, okay? Okay, you don't have anything to identify yourself as? You have a... What?
Private.
Okay. What's your first name?
Private.
Private? Okay. What's the name you were born
Oh, that sucks, Amber. I am so sorry.
with that you were given at birth?
My name is Private.
What's your last name?
My name is Private.
Your name's Private? Okay.
Accept your oath and bond and bind
Okay.
you to them.
Well, appreciate that, but
Legally, when you're pulled over and you're the driver, you have to identify yourself. You can't just say, no, that's not how this works.
in Florida, you're driving on our roadways, you gotta identify yourself. You're traveling behind the wheel of the vehicle, you gotta...
The little smile he gave when he said that, too, like, I know the secret password. Benikagami says, since Dead Domain came up earlier when I was busy, I feel I should warn you that the incident with your former associate briefly comes up in the stream covering Anderson hate preaching about Dead Domain and his own children. It's mostly the Twitch chat, which isn't shown, but the YouTube VOD, but I thought I should let you know. Oh, okay, that's fine.
Identify yourself.
I'm a state registered motor vehicle.
So it's an unregistered motor vehicle.
And your assistant interview is for that way to have private.
So you can have some. 10-4, he's going to be sovereign and not identifying himself. Do you have anything on that vehicle as far as an owner? Okay. Alright. You want to make this easy on yourself before you end up in jail?
No, I haven't gotten insurance yet, Phoenix.
I accept your oath and bond and bind you to...
Okay. Well, I appreciate you being cooperative. Well, no, I wouldn't say cooperative, but you're calm. I appreciate that. I know.
It's a peaceful travel.
Okay.
Do I have a right to travel freely?
You have to have a driver's license in the state of Florida.
I'm not in the state of Florida.
Okay, well you are.
In the state of Florida, what is the state of Florida?
Okay, I'm not about to go into all that. Okay, so by Florida state statute, you have to have a driver's license. Correct.
To be a driver for
Okay,
the state
and
of
you have to have a registered motor vehicle, which this is not registered. You don't have a driver's license.
In order for the state statutes to apply, the word must. That's what that means.
Okay, I'm not going to argue. I'm not.
I don't want to argue.
It's not my first day either, but it's something that we can argue in court. Then.
I am not going to court, and I'm just saying that take me to a magistrate if you wish, and I'll explain the situation with the magistrate.
Okay. Well, do you want to go ahead and do that then?
Show me where to go.
Okay.
I'll travel people in the van.
No, we're not going to go in the van. You know that's not going to happen.
No, that's not
This isn't your first rodeo. It's not my first rodeo. Okay.
Okay.
So, do you have anything? Where's your sovereign paperwork at? Because I know you usually carry paperwork with you.
It's packed in the back.
Packed in the back. Do you want to grab it?
No, because I don't want to get out. Because I don't trust you, and I'm not sure if you're a supervisor.
Okay, I have two strokes.
Not sure if what?
I don't want to get out because I don't trust you, and I'm not sure if you're a supervisor.
Not sure if you're a supervisor. Okay, he already said he was, but he must think he's lying. Usually they think that supervisors have some secret knowledge that the regular cops don't. They're wrong.
I have two stripes. That makes me a corporal, okay? So I am a supervisor on my squad. My sergeant's also coming. If you would like to wait for him, we could. But I guarantee you, he's not going to be as nice as I am. Okay? He's a bigger and meaner guy than I am.
You know what nice means? That means you're being polite and it's martial law.
Just like you. You're being polite. Right.
Oh god, is he doing the whole nice is different than good? Maybe you're nice, but he'll be good. Isn't it normally about how only sheriffs and deputies have power? Sometimes they strictly think it's sheriffs, and not the deputies. Sometimes they think it's the entire sheriff's department as opposed to the local as opposed to the local police or state police.
Right? Yeah. I'm being polite back. Okay. So, I identified myself to you, but you're not going to identify yourself to me.
I'm not aware or understand any thoughts of that. So,
okay.
Private.
I stopped you for a lawful traffic stop, which states you must identify yourself.
In order to be subject to the jurisdiction. That's what that means.
Okay. So I'm assuming you've been arrested before then.
We can. Look, I don't want to purchase any war bonds.
Did he just say he doesn't want to purchase any war bonds?
So there's no commercial benefit to take me to a judge to purchase war bonds. I don't wish to do that.
To take you to a judge to purchase war bonds. Does he think that any fine or ticket from the state is a war bond? That's so interesting. I've never heard that from a sovereign citizen before. It's obviously not true, but I've never heard them say that in those words before. I'm always excited when I hear new permutations of their beliefs, because they change over time. It's like an organism. These groups of beliefs exist in clusters, and sort of some continue on and become popular, others kind of die off. Always interesting when a new mutation appears, and you have something like this, calling fines war bonds. Yeah, it's like the meta. It's like the meta of Sovsidery is changing.
He's just stating his name's private and talking about war bonds.
I don't want to purchase any war bonds. I don't understand anything you're doing. I don't want to participate.
Okay. Well, right now you're not free to go. Just so you know that. Okay.
What is the cause?
My lawful traffic stop.
Okay, is that legal or law?
No.
What's my favorite Sovsit meme that's died out? Let me think about it for a second. Honestly, just the fact that they refuse to call themselves sovereign citizens anymore is pretty fun. They get pretty mad at this point if you call them sovereign citizens. And that happened because, obviously, the whole idea got poisoned because this is nonsense. And once people learned about it, now the ones who still practice it are upset that people know about it. So they'll be like, no, I'm not a sovereign citizen. I'm a insert newer name for sovereign citizen here, but it's all the same stuff. They think changing the label on the activity will change people's perception of it, despite it being the same thing. There's a link to the video someone asked for in Twitch chat.
You know, at least this is bringing light to my day. It makes it interesting, right?
This is bringing light to my day. That's how I'm going to describe streams from now on. This is bringing light to my day.
I can bring an amazing amount of light to your day. I'm not a bad guy.
Did I say you were a bad guy? I don't think you are.
No, I'm not at all.
Billie Eilish says she was the bad guy.
No?
Does that count?
But am I harming them?
No, you're not.
Okay. I came here on a hunch.
You came here on a hunch?
Yes. I don't work in this county, and someone called me, and I came here on a hunch that God said I should go this way.
God told you to go down this road, and you got pulled over? God hates you.
Here I'm meeting you.
So you're a godly man.
Yes. Maybe I am here to help you.
You go to church at all?
I'm way past that point.
Yeah.
You like them?
What was that?
If you have any teacher, Bob, you wouldn't believe what it is or what it is. I don't teach it.
They don't teach what in church? I'm sorry, I have people talking in my ear. Okay. Well, do you go out and teach the Bible then, or not the Bible, but what you believe in God?
Yes.
Do you go out and preach that then to other people?
Those who come to each. Yeah.
But you don't go to other people though to preach it. You just wait for people to come to you. Okay. Why don't you start your own type of church or something like that then?
I mean, like a 508.
I don't know. I don't know what a 508 is.
The specific kind of nonprofit that churches fall under. A lot of sovereign citizens who are into churches are upset about churches filing as 501c3s, nonprofits, religious nonprofits, because they have been told that that causes them to, like, be the property of the government. It's contracting with them. Basically the same as they think for human beings, that you need to contract with the law for it to apply to you. They think the same thing about your church. So, for instance, the sovereign citizens who are were against, like, COVID stuff would say, like, oh, my church isn't a 501c3, so those lockdowns don't apply to my church, which, of course, isn't true. It doesn't matter what your tax filing status for your church is. The law applies to you regardless.
And corpse soul like the Vatican had. That is my plan. And my friend is coming in mid-January. We're working.
Yeah. Where are you originally from?
Heaven.
From heaven?
Heaven sent.
So you're Jesus. You're risen from the dead and now you're reborn.
Yes.
How's...
Oh no! Oh! Does this guy think he's Jesus? Oh, this guy just needs, like, a ton of help. Oh god. Oh god. Has anyone ever read The Three Christs of Ypsilanti? There's also a movie about it. Oh.
standing?
Do you know what that means?
Nope.
Okay.
Would you want to teach me?
I'd be happy to meet with the magistrate. The magistrate.
Unfortunately, the delusional belief that one is the reincarnation of Jesus is a common enough delusion. The book I was referencing, it takes place in Michigan. The book is about an actual study in which they took 3 mental patients at a mental hospital in Ypsilanti, Michigan, and all of them had the delusion that they were Jesus, and they had them, like, daily do groups together and have them all interact, all of them thinking that they are the real Jesus. It's an interesting delusion. Penikagami says, that's not true, Hannah. Your tax filing absolutely affects how the law applies to you. Look at the top 1%. You know what I meant, though. Like, the law applies to your church regardless.
So who is the magistrate?
Whoever you have working this weekend, then it's your magistrate.
I don't have any magistrates. I don't work for a magistrate. I don't know. We don't have magistrates here.
You don't have a magistrate?
No.
Not on call?
No.
Well, how do you charge anybody without a magistrate?
We have a judge.
They even calls the judge.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Just like you have laws and whatever the heck you were talking about, we have laws and we have judges. And we have a jury. So, here comes my sergeant. He's got 1 more stripe than I do.
Okay.
So he will, like I said, he's probably not going to be as nice as I am.
I hope he's more nice than you are.
Are you saying I'm not nice?
No, not at all. I'm just hoping that he is more nice.
I don't know. He's kind of a mean-looking guy.
Where are we, by the way?
We are at 41 in Toledo Blade in Port Charlotte, Charlotte County, Florida, where I have jurisdiction.
Mog's Emulation Station with another super chat says, and when you pray, do not be like the Sovsids, for they love to piss and moan in unregistered vehicles and refuse to show a license to be seen by others. Truly, they have their reward. That's a good one.
So this is Mr. Private.
Hello, Mr. Private.
Sergeant Robert Gay, Shotgun Sheriff's Office. I have a. He is sovereign. Question. He doesn't want to give his name. He says he has nothing to identify himself. Okay. Vehicle's unregistered. He says he's traveling. I'm a non-belligerent, non-combatant private traveler. I accept your oath and bond and bond. Okay. So, travel for you have to have a license. You have a valid license. Valid license. Valid driver's license. No. Okay. All right. Does your vehicle register? Okay. Okay. Thank you. Told you he's not as nice as I am. All right. Stay put. What is your first name? Okay, Mr. Private. Not Mr. You're gonna identify yourself. Whatever. Okay, here. I'm not Private. Here's the thing. I'm not Mr. So you gave me a different name now? I'm not Mr. You gave me a false name? I'm not Mr. You just said you're not Private. No, I'm sorry. Okay, Private. So you're gonna step out of the car, because you know how this is gonna go. Can I call a friend? No.
Can I call a friend? This isn't Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. This is your arrest.
So you can step out. If you want to step out.
Phoenix with 200 bits says just a little for your meds. Thank you.
Nothing I'm doing here is under protest and duress.
Okay, that's fine.
Under protest and duress. You're not complying, okay? So no, I'm not fighting.
That's fine.
You understand the difference?
Okay, no, I know.
Okay, I can see the law.
Yeah.
All right. There you go.
There we go. Come on out.
Perfect. All right, what's your step, sir? What's your step? All my actions are under protest and duress.
Okay, that's fine.
I accept your oath for me. Bond and bind to them.
I got it.
At least he's not resisting.
Told you, this could have went easy. I don't know why you chose to do this.
Chose to do what?
I can do it.
Want to do transport? I'm not sure.
I'll do whatever.
Yeah, want to do transport? Do you want to take care of the tow sheet and the report?
Yeah, I'll take care of the report stuff.
All right. Sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Sure?
Yeah.
All right. All right. All right.
209 Central.
Yeah. Whatever.
We'll have 11015 under John Doe for now until we get him identified.
I hope that guy gets help. Because, like, I don't know if he's a danger to himself or others, but it's not typical to go around thinking you're secretly the son of God. Just a thought. So I hope he's... Let's try this one. This is from James the Traveler.
James here, and I want to g'day there, James here, and I want to tell you how the last time I went to court I didn't identify as the legal fiction that the magistrate was trying to ensnare me
The More 76, thanks for following.
to be enjoined to, and I clearly stated that I was James the Traveller, a private and individual man separate to this legal fiction, and how the magistrate kicked me out, and that
The More, I understand what you're saying. I'm not laughing at the fact that he needs help. Delusional beliefs are interesting. It's what the show is about. If that's uncomfortable for you, that's fine. You don't have to watch the show. I respect that.
That was the end of the story, and it was a brilliant win in my
Don't do that, X-Force. Don't talk about physical things on people like that.
my books. So
There's a reason I didn't bring it up, because it's irrelevant.
the last time I went to court, it was approximately February 2023. And this was,
Might miss higher.
I think, the 27th time I'd been to court in Australia along the Gold Coast, well, in Queensland, in a period of about...
I'm sorry, was that Shrek Court AI?
In Australia along the Gold Coast.
Oh my god, it is Shrek Court. Generative AI was such a bad decision. Ugh.
Well, in Queensland, in a period of about a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. I've been many times for lots of different reasons, and it's also interesting that all those times I went, they never mentioned once anything about fines, tons of speeding fines unpaid from Victoria, New South Wales, Queensland. I would have had at least $50,000 worth of fines. Now I don't bat an eyelid if I get any of those fines because it's literally just ink on paper, nothing to warrant a fear response from
Do you think that maybe that ink on that paper is trying to communicate something to you, though, about your obligations to the state?
To understand what this court case was about, because it was for suspended license, and I just walked in, said who I was, and the magistrate kicked me out a couple minutes later. I need to give you a bit of backstory from the previous court case I had to really grasp what's going on here and how what I did worked for me. I can't say it's going to work for everyone, but it worked quite well for me. Well, it worked perfectly, actually. Well, it could work better if I didn't even go to court. That would be a touch-up, and that would be the future goal. And to summarize what happened was suspended license, go into court, I don't identify as illegal.
50,000, how much is that in US dollars? I think it's around 37,000 US dollars, roughly.
Name, I get kicked out, there's no repercussion.
Let me look. 50,000 USD to Australian dollars. Oh, sorry, it would be Australian to American. Sorry. 33,000. I was a little high. Yeah, nothing wants to
They didn't even want to fine me. Nothing at all. They left me alone, left my car alone, left my bank account alone. It was a total win. Let's go to a court case before that, and I'd bought my van. I bought it in New South Wales, and it had New South Wales plates on it, and I didn't get a transfer or anything. I think I sent some dickhead, part of one of their government organisations, a letter saying that I was now the owner of it. I sent that letter, obviously didn't hear anything back, and I just left these New South Wales plates.
Sorry, I'm getting so many spam texts about the election.
On, and then I was in a car park on the Gold Coast, and some female cops came over, and they cracked the shits because that New South Wales.
Why do I know that? Am I following the Aussie economy? No, it's I'm almost embarrassed to say the reason. The reason I know how to roughly convert United States or Australian dollars into United States dollars is because some of my favorite DVD and Blu-ray companies are from Australia, and you have to import their movies. And the prices are all listed in Australian dollars.
Wales plates had been unregistered for like 800 days, so then they said they have the legal right to take those plates now.
So I have to easily be able to know those off the top of my head, roughly.
So they took those plates, and then I just put cardboard plates on with that same New South Wales number on, because I didn't know what else to do at the time. I was just experimenting, so I had the cardboard plates on.
Why are all the AI-generated cop ladies, like, horny bait?
I went to Burleigh Heads, left...
Yeah, he's just scrolling through AI-generated stuff. This is his video format now.
My van outside, parked, and went to my girlfriend at the time's place overnight, came out, my cardboard plates had been stolen. And like, bloody hell, it must be the cops again. Okay, I'll just put you...
In fairness, Mog, Ingmar Bergman made some really good films. Seventh Seal?
Cardboard plates. I really didn't know what to do at that point. So I just did the same thing, jumped in the van. Literally 1 minute later, the cops pulled me over. Yeah, the cops attacked me and headlocked me. I actually thought I was going to die. That was a pretty cool experience.
The AI prompt said seductress. Did it really? People are too horny.
I was like, cool. All my preparation for leaving this world is coming to a head right now, because he, choked.
You are correct, Will Kale. Umbrella puts out great stuff. And generally, Umbrella's releases, despite sometimes saying they're Region B locked, are not actually. Don't tell anyone I told you that. But Umbrella usually puts out Blu-rays and DVDs that say on the package they're region locked, and they're not. Pretty much all AI interpretation of women is pornographic. Yeah.
Absolutely choke the fuck out.
A lot of it.
But anyway, I know how to deal with police now where they don't attack you, because I actually dealt with that same cop.
Collecting is just organized hoarding. I'm a very organized hoarder.
Cop who almost killed me 3 months later, and he didn't lay a hand on me. He said he...
Except for the box right here of stuff I haven't organized yet. Let's see. Project A 1 and 2, Ultraman X, A Christmas Story Christmas, and Coneheads. People send me a lot of stuff. Although,
These thing, and then
the
they
Coneheads I got with a gift card that I
left, and then I drove away. Anyway, coming back to this story. Yeah, so the cops attacked me, threw me on the ground, blah, blah, blah. And then I've gone to court for that. And whenever you go to court, they always just want you to attach to the name, and then they want to know you're guilty, not guilty, and there's, 1,000 different ways you can go about your court case. But I wanted to test something and just say, no, I'm countercharging for attempted murder, for kidnap, for assault, for all this stuff.
You're countercharging for murder when you were arrested? Who murdered?
Which was just the truth, and they think it's silly and whatever, so I got the footage and I went to court. You have to go lots of time. Anyone who's gone to court, you know how long they drag it out. They drag it out over months and months and months and keep going back in because they're just testing you. They want to say, have you broken yet? Have you broken yet? Have you broken yet? Are you just going to say guilty and let us fucking rape you and do what we want with you? Or are you going to keep fighting and say, no, I am sovereign, motherfuckers. You are not going to have dominion and authority over me. And that's what I was doing.
I'm sovereign, motherfuckers.
And so it goes to trial. Magistrate gives me plenty of time to write out my questions, and I'm just interrogating these cops. And you just find out they've got no intelligence, they've got no empathy. They're just dumb androids, just biological AI technology. At the end of the case, the magistrate still said,
stupid robot as the prompt. How rude to robots.
Well, I can see that you've got a good character, but yeah, you're guilty. You're guilty, and so I'm going to fine you this much money, $1,000 or something, and going to suspend your license for a month. That was the punishment. And I'd already told him I don't use a driver's license, and I don't drive. I travel. That was hilarious. I mean, you can't say that. It's a bloody pain in the ass because they say, well, how did you move your van? Tell me exactly what you did. And you're like, well, I got to put the key in, and I turn it, then I put it into gear, and it's just... Nowadays, I'd just say, yeah, I drive, but I'm not a driver, because one is a adjective or a verb, driving. Sure, I can do that, but I'm not a driver. That's a noun, and a noun...
Being a driver, noun, is someone who is doing the act, verb, of driving.
Changes your title, changes your status, and a lot of their laws to do with status. You don't want to put yourself into a status where they can control you. It's like you can be a race car. Well, you can hire a race car and race it around the track. You can race car drive. Doesn't make you a race car driver, does it?
In that moment, you are a race car driver in the literal sense that you are driving a race car. So you're wrong? You're not a professional race car driver, but you are a race car driver while you are driving the race car. It's not your occupation, but it is nonetheless descriptive of what you are doing while you are engaging in that activity. So yes, you are a race car driver while driving a race car. Learning language and grammar is a scam from the deep state. You're so tricky, that deep state.
You can go play golf, doesn't make you a golfer. So
Again, no, that literally does. You're not like a PGA golfer, but if you golf, you are a golfer. If you play a video game, you are a gamer. If you do streams, you are a streamer. And if you drive, you are a driver.
You can drive your car, doesn't make you a driver, because obviously, well, maybe not obviously how new you are to studying.
This is maddening.
This concept of legality and law and all their subjective legislation and just legal fictions. Their legislation is only written for things. And I mean actual things, like legal fictions. Not men and women, but things. Corporations, instruments, agents of the state, public utilities, trust estates, everything that's not a fucking...
Yeah, Phoenix, I'd always take a VHS. Here is my P.O. Box address.
Man or woman, that's what all their legislation is.
Mog asks, you seen A Christmas Story Christmas? Curious to know how bad or good it is. It's got Peter Billingsley and Zach Ward, which sounds promising, but maybe they were desperate for work. I enjoyed it. It's a pretty decent sequel to A Christmas Story. It's nice seeing Ralphie as an adult. Not perfect, but it's not bad. If you like the first Christmas Story, I would recommend watching A Christmas Story Christmas. Don't watch Christmas Story 2, that's terrible. But yes, watch A Christmas Story Christmas. It's not as good as the first one, but you know, it's like a 30, 40 years later sequel. Pretty good.
Written for, and I'll get into more detail how you can use negative endearment to combat that stuff in another video. The best tool I've ever come across, negative endearment. The courts wanted to fine me, and I said, well, I can't afford that. It was $1,000 or something. The thing is, even if I was a billionaire, I'd still say I can't afford to fund terrorism, because what else are you doing if you pay those fines apart from funding terrorists?
Famously, Australia, the terrorist state. Do I accept book donations? I do. Here's my P.O. box if you'd like to send. Yep, I'll take anything in the P.O. box as long as it's legal and non-perishable.
That's what you're doing. I'm not going to...
And not dangerous in any way.
Give money to the Hell and Satan demon bloody charity. No, thank you. So I said, I can't afford it.
Why are they clowns?
And she made it a couple $100 cheaper for the fine. And I didn't say I accepted that. Anything like that. I just said I can't afford it once. She said the rest of her stuff and then said, okay, case dismissed. Or case finalized, whatever. And I walked out. And I jumped in my van and kept driving.
Sending dryer lint is okay. If you want to pay money to send me dryer lint that I'm going to throw directly in the garbage, I suppose that's on you. Am I exodusing Twitter for Blue Sky? I should. Almost certainly. MH Sharkbee says, I guess it's true, Hannah. What people say about them is true. Paula Dean joins former President Trump and Laura Trump. Yeah, that's not shocking. Jesus. Yeah, she had like a party or a wedding or something of someone's at a plantation, and they had the servers be like all black children. Yeah, not great.
Straight away. But so unfortunate, just these things happen. I was in Caboolture, actually, in Queensland, visiting my mum and sister the next day, and there was like a checkpoint, but it wasn't police, it was just council workers that were doing some car inspection, and stupidly I drove through it. Now I have learned you do not drive through those checkpoints. You fucking do a U-turn, you go around. It's not worth the hassle. Like, even if you are using their slavery bloody license and rego and stuff, it's just not worth the hassle, worth the risk. It's like if you're walking through the woods, you see a fucking bear, just cross to the other side of the river. Why risk walking past the violent bear? Just don't do it. It's stupid. It's fucking stupid. That passion and anger is aimed at myself because I got myself into another predicament there, but I learned something from it. Anyway, those council workers ended up calling the police who were patrolling up that road because, you know, they work together, those gang members. Yeah, he wanted me to go to court again. So I had another court case. And because the cop, he's looked at the legal fiction name, because it just ended up giving him the legal fiction name. I said, that's not me, you know, that's the legal fiction name I have. But I'm obviously James the Traveller. That's my chosen name. I make a whole video about the different chosen names, family names, given names, surnames, etc. He's like, you just had a court case yesterday and you got a suspended license. You can't drive. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, sure, all right. So anyway, then a couple months later, oh, actually, no, I decided to email the courts.
Wait, why is it Yowie all of a sudden? Why are we looking at you? The description for this one, the prompt is J.C. Lydecker, smiling men in solid wet oil, rainwear kissing, several men looking into his tender blue eyes, garden, misty glow, light reflections, deep colors, sun rays. Alright. Whatever floats your boat. Doesn't want to play. Sad face.
Months later.
There we go.
Oh, actually, no. I decided to email.
There it is. Oh, okay.
The courts and tell them they made a mistake and try to get them to cancel the court case before I even needed to go in person to the case, but they didn't reply and I just didn't go to the date. And then they put a warrant out for me, and because I was living in my van parked in a public car park...
Surprise, Yowie. The best kind.
Night, that's just how I lived, and fuck, it was awesome. It was so good, apart from the police and council bloody harassing me once a month or so. That was a pain in the ass. The rest of living in a van was
Gay Bucky Barnes.
almost like the perfect.
Don't read my Steve Bucky Steve/Bucky/Tony fanfiction.
Lifestyle. Fucking so good. Just that freedom of travel and everything. Sleeping overnight, cops came and harassed me because at that point I had private plates on. I'd sorted out the private plates and I had proper metal looking private plates and they looked professional, and I'd registered it to a PMA, a private members association that I'd created, and I had it on a website, and I'd had, well, still got my.
Okay, I think I'm done with that guy. Let's move on. Try this one.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Kim Crawford, Legal Services of South Central Michigan with Ms. Rosie Wade.
Steve is a bottom or a service top. Steve is a top. Steve is 100% a top. No, we're not getting into this. We're not getting. Whoa.
Can you state your name for the record? Rosie Wade.
Good afternoon.
Smooth Anna for the people.
What? Dispel. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Give me a minute. Go ahead when you're ready, Ms. Crawford.
Thank you, Your Honor. We're here to ask that the court set aside Ms. Wade's felony conviction from 1983. It's been more than 30 years since she completed all terms of her sentence, and she is looking to get this expunged because she recently has adopted her great-grandson, who is 11 years old, and she's been his primary caregiver since he was 6 weeks old. She is unable to volunteer at his school, and she is unable to get
Okay, so she wants a felony expunged from her record so she can volunteer at her adopted child, who is her grandchild's school. That's commendable. I can understand that.
Job because of her felony conviction. She actually found a job where her great-grandson goes to school, and she was fired. So it's been a long time since her conviction. This is her only
Old Squishy Gardener puts up great videos.
Conviction, and the only time she's ever been in trouble. And I think it's in the interest of the public welfare that the court would grant her this privilege.
Mr. Danner, does your office take?
I think especially over like a thing 30 years ago, this shouldn't be an issue if she's like not had issues since then. Expunged this from the record. I think that's reasonable. I am wondering what's going to happen though, because this is a Sobsit video, so I think she's going to ruin something. Or maybe this isn't even the main video. Maybe this is just a little mini one they put before.
That position?
Maybe this will just be a nice one.
No, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
I asked whether the prosecutor's office takes a position. Said no.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Ms. Wade, I'll commend you for taking care of your grandchild and for doing everything that the court required you to do when you following your conviction, and I'll grant your application to set aside your conviction.
Oh hell yeah, good. Okay, that's a nice cleanse. That's a nice cleanse in the middle. That's good. Honestly, what a difficult situation for her to be in, but she took on her grandkid. She didn't have to do, and now she's gonna volunteer. That's good. Good for her.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
Back to you.
Thanks.
All right, now on to the Sobsit.
Number 39, People versus Angela Weems, 22154 FH.
Lou Danner for the people.
Is Mr. Weems present?
Mr. Weems is present.
And was there somebody else present on this matter?
Your Honor, I believe that Mr. Weems is representing himself. So he just needs to be advised of his rights to counsel since this is the starting of a new proceeding and he is still representing himself.
Oh boy.
All right, Mr. Weems, you are, as you know, entitled to be represented by an attorney. And I think I would not be alone in telling you that that is your best course of action. I hear that you do not want to accept an appointed attorney or to hire an attorney on your own. Is that true?
I always find it interesting how different judges try to suggest to the person to get a lawyer, because they, you know, I think the reasonable thing to say if you are not a judge would be, that's foolish, don't do that, that will ruin your life, you will lose this case and embarrass yourself. But as a judge, you have to be more, you know, what's the word I'm thinking of? Judicial with your comments. So it is interesting how they try to get across the severity and importance of this without directly being like, hey, really, really, really don't do this. That's a bad call. Don't do this.
No, I'm here as intervener and authorized
Can people do some emotes in Twitch chat? I'm trying to fix the emote wall.
representative for Angela Wing.
I need it to see if it's working.
I couldn't understand anything you said, sir.
Said I'm here as intervener and as authorized representative for Angela Wings.
There it is. We did it.
I guess, Your Honor, then we're going to need to confirm whether or not this individual who is on the Zoom
Thank you.
is actually
You can, I mean, you can keep going, but I fixed the thing, so you're good.
Angela Weems, as since there hasn't been any filing for an attorney or any other representative, then I believe that it would either have to be Mr. Weems' attorney who speaks for Mr. Weems or Mr. Weems himself. So we just have to confirm that this is in fact Mr. Weems, as I've never seen him before. I cannot determine based on just
tactful or circumspect. Yeah.
the screen that is in fact him.
Haven't we seen something else with Angela Weems? It's possible. A lot of the sovereign citizens are repeat offenders, unfortunately. Have we seen this one?
Okay, since Mr. Weems either is not present or will not acknowledge being present, then I find that he's failed to appear for a pretrial hearing and on 2 probation violations. And I will issue a bench warrant.
Not true.
I do want to raise this issue. I received a communication by certified mail addressed to me here at the court, and the return address is SS Whitfield, P.O. Box 13198, Detroit, Michigan.
Dark Wolf says, I love watching Hannibal playing video games. You're the best background sounds. Thank you. What are you playing? Hope it's going well. I think we may have watched that before, so I am going to move on. I'm glad we got that little cleanse at the beginning, though. Happy for that lady.
Shannon Lockhart.
Woo! Hot mic.
Defendant has failed to appear. The court will adjourn the final time.
Yeah, I am here.
Can you state your name?
Hello. Yeah, I'm here by special appearance only. You said
Can you
Shannon
state your
Lockhart?
name? Okay, thank you. Sir, you had previously waived your right to an attorney. However, if you change your mind and you would like the assistance of an attorney and you can't afford one, the court will at the public's expense.
Wow, this court's microphones are terrible. I know she's also wearing a mask, which probably doesn't help, but...
Would you like the assistance of an attorney today?
First of all, I'm here by special appearance only.
They say special appearance because they think if they say they're appearing in court under special appearance, then the laws don't apply to them. They think the court's authority doesn't apply because they're not there to contract. They're there under special appearance outside of the jurisdiction of the court. None of that's a thing, obviously. It's the court. You're there. They have jurisdiction over you. But they think it works. They think the magic words work. They don't.
And the magistrate
Nice, Dark Wolf.
dismissed the rest of these charges. It was my understanding that this is going to be dismissed as well.
So your case has not been dismissed. The magistrate didn't dismiss it. She set it for a pre-trial.
Well, first of all, I'm here to help settle this matter, but I am not the defendant. I'm a man. Does the court recognize that I'm a man?
Sir, I have you listed as revoked.
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you.
Sir, I see that on the court record, it says that your license is revoked.
Again, I am not the defendant. I'm here as an agent for the defendant. I'm not the defendant, and I do not.
They think they can separate themselves from the defendant. It is them, but they think they can say the defendant is a legal fiction, and that somehow separates them from culpability. Again, it doesn't.
I'm happy to speak.
Sir, what is your name?
Have you not received my filing to the case that I sent to you?
Sir, can you tell me what your name is? Are you Shannon Lockhart?
I sent you who I am. I sent you who I am in writing. I answered the
Sir
court in
Lockhart,
writing.
I don't have any of that documentation. I'm asking, are you Shannon Lockhart? Because if you are not Shannon Lockhart and you haven't filed an appearance, you can't speak for him. So I just need to know.
I'm not the defendant. I am a man. My name is Shannon Malone of the Lockhart family. I am not the defendant. I'm not a corporate fiction. I'm a man.
Okay.
Every time one of them says I'm a man, it just makes me think back to Linkara, if anyone remembers Linkara.
Understand that?
You are the named defendant in this
I am a man. Punch. Where's a purdy hat, Linkara?
case.
He's got a magic gun. Where'd he purchase that?
No, I am not the named defendant.
Sir, you are
I'm not a
currently
defendant.
Sir, you're currently
I'm not a corporate
defendant.
fiction.
Sir, when it's my turn to talk, it's my courtroom. I get to talk and you have to listen. You are not represented by an attorney. If you would like to be represented by an attorney.
Yeah, he's still doing stuff. I guess I'm just not super familiar. I still follow Todd in the Shadows, Skirus Lupa, Allison, Phalis. That's about it.
I'm happy to appoint
Lindsay when she does stuff, which is rare these days.
one to help you out. Would you
Well, I
like
guess she does stuff on Nebula.
the assistance of an attorney today?
First of all, I've already filed my answer to the court. If you guys don't have my answer, then I don't know what to tell you.
So, sir, you do not want an attorney, is that correct? Do you want to represent yourself?
I am not the defendant. I think you need to look at the filings to the case. I need to speak to the prosecutor.
Your Honor,
for one,
I'm happy.
Sure,
I'm happy to speak to
So, Mr. Lockhart, I can let you speak to the prosecutor. We can put you in a breakout room together and you can see if you could work something out, okay?
I'm not Mr. Lockhart.
So if we can put the two of them into a breakout room, he's listed on the phone number.
Rizia, thanks for 50 months at tier 2. Thank you so much. 50 months, wow. An insane number. I've been doing this a while. And Setsu says, unfortunately, Linkara had to deal with a shitty situation with a now former friend. Can't relate.
Okay, we will pass that matter. Recalling Village of Manchester versus Shannon Lockhart.
Victor Lilly for the Village of Manchester, Your Honor.
Sir, can you state your name again? You're muted.
Hello, Pete.
Could you state your name
Hello?
again, please?
I'm a man commonly known as Shaina Malone of the Lockhart family.
Okay,
Not to be
thank you.
confused with
Mr.
corporate
Lilich, were you able, hold on, Mr. Lockhart. Mr. Lockhart, were you able to resolve this case?
Your Honor, I had a conversation with Mr. Lockhart in the breakout room. Thank you for that. We kind of danced around in circles a little bit. He doesn't think he's responsible for compliance with the laws of the state of Michigan regarding driver's licenses because he characterizes himself as some type of a corporate entity or as transport.
No, he thinks he's not the corporate entity.
Or
This is why you need SOVSIT translators in court. He thinks he's not the corporate entity. He thinks you've charged the corporate entity.
Transportating himself.
Doesn't really matter, I guess, because it's all nonsense. But it might be easier to talk to him.
As a corporate entity. And Your Honor, I don't know if he's filed anything with the court or not. I have
Thanks, Mog's Emulation Station. Have a great night.
Not received anything, but I've seen these types of things before. I don't know if the court has. I don't. There's no way we're going to be able to resolve this, Your Honor, because he's not going to. He doesn't think you're responsible. I just set it down for a trial.
Phoenix says, hire Hannah as the SOVSIT translator. Is it bad that would be a great job that I would love? I love talking with people who believe really strange things. Especially if it was in a context where I'm not being filmed and don't have to perform. It would just be such an interesting job. Oh. Midnight, thanks for 43 months, says, hope you and Baja are doing good. We are. Thanks for asking.
Your Honor, I'll have the officer show up. We'll deal with it at that time.
Okay.
Judge, I have a question for the prosecutor.
Okay.
First of all, the plaintiff, I suppose, is not appearing, correct? And the plaintiff says that he.
Oh, that's really cool, Avalon of Babylon.
I mean, the prosecutor says that he's he don't have any firsthand knowledge of the case. So.
I told him. I told Mr. Lockhart.
One sec. Pizza time.
I have a copy of the complaint.
Excuse me, I'm talking. He's cutting me off. He said he has no first-hand knowledge of the case. So I asked him, does he have is he a state licensed attorney? And he said yes. So I would like to see a state license because I don't believe one exists. So can you?
You don't believe a state license exists? That's an interesting belief.
Provide the court with a state license as an attorney for the plaintiff. And if you don't have one, you have no standing.
Sir, he is a licensed attorney. He does not. Mr. Lillich does not need to provide that to the court.
Thank you, Judge.
He is a licensed attorney in Michigan.
I would imagine they have his P number already.
Is this a court of law?
Correct, sir.
The X-Force.
So I'm supposed to presume this man that I've never met has standing in the courtroom.
Well, sir, you can, if you don't believe the court that he is standing, you're certainly welcome to look him up. He is a licensed attorney in good standing with the state of Michigan.
But he don't have to produce credentials.
He doesn't need to provide anything further to the court in order to practice here.
True, Baja. True.
Oh, wow.
So, sir, so it sounds like you weren't able to resolve anything with the prosecutor. Would you like to set, what kind of a trial would you like to set this for? In front of a jury or a judge?
I'm not setting anything. I'm not the defendant.
Sir, you're the person in this case.
I'm not the defendant. And since he want to go that route, he's violating my copyright information that I sent him.
He's violating your copyright. That's not how any of this works. You don't have a copyright on your name. They can use it in a court document.
On my trade name. He's violating my copyright on my trade name. And he's going to file, I'm going to file a claim against him. If I got to come back and fight for this case, then I'm going to file a claim against him as well.
Okay, so what I can do is for final settlement conference. And that will be August 9th, 2022 at 1 p.m. That will be at the 14A4 District Court in Saline. That is an in-person hearing. Followed by jury selection, August 12th, 2022 at 8:30 a.m. That will be at the 14A1 District Court in Pittsfield Township. Those are both in-person hearings. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, I do not.
Okay, you're all set for today. Your bond.
Thank you, Judge.
I wonder if he actually showed up in court. Don't a lot of the time. What's Kat up to?
What about us? Hello, good men, women, and children. This is Kat Aspinda with One New Earth, and welcome to my live Rumble Studio show at 7 p.m. PST. I appreciate every single one of you who have chosen to spend this time here. And I wanted to start it off with some Michael Jackson.
This video starts off with a Michael Jackson song. You know, the one that's like, they don't really care about us. He played a large part of that. I had to skip it for obvious copyright reasons.
You know, the parts where all the different people all over the world were putting their hands into the dirt.
Also, Kat is very into the QAnon, save the children, anti-child trafficking stuff, so her being a Michael Jackson fan is interesting, given Michael Jackson's history with children. Alleged history with children.
Grabbing the dirt, and all of the people all over the world who could see the truth and the atrocities of the world were all connecting. And with that came
No, she's not in her house anymore. She got evicted. Benikagami says, for those of us who need some hope, some Republican internal polling leaked and out their Senate races. And every one of them they're behind except Ted Cruz, who's only leading by 1 point. The fact that even with a popular former governor like Larry Hogan here in Maryland, a no-name former county executive like Angela Also Brooks is leading is a great sign that the Republicans are in awful shape right now. I hope so. I really do. Wouldn't it be nice if the election comes and the polls were off and the Republicans get, like, decimated and it's a landslide? Wouldn't that be beautiful? Very Razor Fisty. Yeah, Razor Fist has, like, a 3-part video series on how he thinks Michael Jackson was innocent, which is not great.
Shift. And, you know, you kind of feel like those people
How do these folks get away with copyright infringement? They're on Rumble. They're on Rumble. Rumble doesn't police it, and it's not big enough that companies care to do so. Excuse me. You can find all sorts of full movies and stuff on Rumble and BitChute because, you know, they just don't have the resources to deal with the copyright like YouTube does. That might actually be a good avenue to get them taken down. If you informed a bunch of companies about all the copyrighted material on Rumble and BitChute, it would force them to take legal action, which would make BitChute and Rumble have to spend more money on moderation. It would probably cost them money they can't afford because they're already running on thin margins. Just a thought.
Holding on to the trees, holding on for dear life as all the things that are going on around us in our world. And we are at war, folks, because we have our...
I can actually look. Let me go to Rumble. What full movie can I find? Can I find a Disney full movie? Disney full movie. Oh yeah, there's some Disney stuff. Just a little bit. Toy Story 3 English full movie game. Oh, at least that's a long play gameplay. Oh.
Government, people in our government that are using energy weapons against the people. Now, I've been talking about this since, I don't know, it seems like it's been a while, but people don't believe that there's weather manipulation and what's happened to the people over
Why don't people believe my unfounded conspiracy theories?
The East Coast, story after story after story, it just breaks my heart. So I just want to, just let everybody over there know that I am praying for you every single day. I'm spending time in meditation. And, this is a time where it can be a little scary. This is the times of the trials and the tribulations. And many people are afraid right now. And what I am trying to do in my journey and with the work that I have done is to show people that we do not have to be afraid. What we do need to do is to stand for the truth no matter what, because the truth shall set us free. And there's a lot of untruths going on in our court systems. And I wanted to share with you today my court case. I had a court case this morning at 8:30 a.m. at the Benton County District Court.
I'm guessing that didn't go well for her. For those that aren't familiar with Kat and our coverage of her, she's a sovereign citizen that's also into a lot of QAnon stuff, like Pizzagate type things. And she decided at some point that money wasn't real, that mortgages are a fraud, so she decided to stop paying the mortgage on her house. Not because she couldn't afford it, to my knowledge, she's never mentioned that. She just didn't think she had to pay her mortgage, and even after she was taken to court over it, she refused. So her house was foreclosed upon and sold at auction, and she still is trying to sue over it because she doesn't think she did anything wrong.
In Kennewick, Washington. Now, I didn't show up in person. I just showed up on the Zoom call, and I'm going to be sharing that with you in just a little bit. But you know how these things go. I mean, if you are one of those people that are getting pulled into the court because you've got pirates coming after you, people that say they're attorneys, but they're actually debt collectors. In my case, I have Subtle and Hammer. They are a company, well, they're based, in my situation, out of Bellevue, Washington. But if you look up Subtle and Hammer, it's Suttell and Hammer, you'll see that they're all over the country. And
is she confused because the debt collectors contacted her through their lawyer, and she's like, well, you're not a lawyer, you're a debt collector. And it's like, those aren't mutually exclusive. The debt collectors probably have a lawyer.
They are actually a creditor.
She was not a banker, she was a property management CEO.
I guess, type of attorney. But they're not really, I mean, they're attorneys, but they're what you call the bottom of the basement attorneys. They are the ones that lie and say they have a contract or an agreement or something in writing saying they represent the plaintiff. And
so I'm assuming she owes someone money due to a court ruling through all her legal stuff. Legal fees, perhaps, for a defendant. Don't know. Either way, I'm assuming that's real, and she should take it seriously.
In my case, I was sued or served with a lawsuit for $19,000 from supposedly J.P. Morgan.
Supposedly J.P. Morgan? I mean, do you owe J.P. Morgan $19,000?
Alleged debt that's already been paid off multiple times. And so, as many of you have been following me on this journey, there is a lot going on in the court system. We have found that these judges are not, in fact, judges. These are inferior courts. They're basically administrative type courts with people who call themselves judges, but they're merely hearing officers. And that's according to Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch, who's touring the country and letting everybody know that these judges are adjudicating against the people unlawfully without due process. And that's a crime against humanity, because you do know how many people have lost their cars, their homes, their boats, their children, their grandmothers, all because...
Wait, lost their grandmother? You lost your grandmother in a court battle?
You've got some supposed judge, some guy who sits behind a bench who likes to wear robes, again, according to Neil Gorsuch, and they just work really.
Have you considered that Gorsuch is a big piece of shit?
For the agencies.
And I imagine you're misinterpreting his words anyway, as you are one to do.
They do not work for the people. They tell you they're protecting your constitutional rights, but we don't have rights under the Constitution. Our rights come from God. And
what was the Revolutionary War over then? Kat, how do you think anything works?
The Constitution is merely a contract for them.
The foundational legal document for the country.
For them to follow.
After the Articles of Confederation turned out to be a big stinker, they got together and they were like, okay, we need a more functional government. And they, over a period of intense debate and argument, they came up with the Constitution and the first 10 amendments. That's your rights. Social construct.
So all of these codes, statutes, mandates are for them to follow. And now we're finding that most of these so-called judges who are not judges, they're here.
I like when she says, and now we're finding, because it's just a thing she decided or she interpreted from someone else's words.
Hearing officers, they don't even have a license to be a judge. They merely have a bar card. Their license is with the bar, which is the British Accreditation Registry.
That's not what that stands for. The bar isn't an acronym. Not that. Sovereign citizens think it is, because then they can say, oh, it's British, it's a foreign country, and therefore because you have a title of Esquire from a foreign country, you don't have certain rights. It's nonsense.
And that's all they have, is that license and then a bar card to be a judge. And with that, they can adjudicate against the people, they are judge and they are jury, and that is...
I mean, they're the judge, they're the finder of fact if it's a bench trial, but you're entitled to a jury trial above a certain amount of potential consequence. So like if you're up to potentially a year in jail, I think you're awarded, like, no matter what, a jury trial. I think there's also a specific monetary threshold, but I don't remember what it is.
Is never what our forefathers meant for us to have to endure. This is a system under the crown. It is a system of tyranny. And we're going to go over some things today because there is the judge. So what happens when you have a court case is you don't typically know who the judge is going to be. And
where's she living now? With her twin flame. She's living with her twin flame partner. They do live streams together.
Till the day of the court case. So in my case was at 8:30 in the morning. The office opens at 8 a.m. Very hard to get somebody to answer during that time. We had to call over and over and over again during office hours to find out which room it was in so that we could make sure we were signed in on time. And so it turned out that the judge is Terry Tanner. And he is a judge that's been a judge since 2009 in my area of Benton County. But I didn't know, and I bet you a lot of people don't know, because a lot of people don't read the local news or listen to the local news because they know there's a lot of lies that happens on the local levels. There's some truth that gets through, but there's a lot of lies also. One thing that the Tri-City Herald here...
It's a good question. I don't know what her partner's mortgage situation is, or rent. I don't know.
Here, which is my local newspaper, did...
That would be unfortunate if she convinced him to stop paying his too, despite what happened to her.
...did report is on the DUIs that this particular judge that it was over me today in court. And I was shocked. I was very shocked. I mean, I know that these black robes, they don't have the best of character, but I certainly did.
Like, it's not great that your judge had previous DUIs, but that doesn't make him ineligible to be a judge, to my knowledge. Your case doesn't even have anything to do with drinking or DUIs. I could understand maybe not assigning him those cases because of potential conflict of interest. He's, sort of like when you're called to jury duty and they ask if you've ever perpetrated or been victims of specific kinds of crimes, because that's what the case is about. That judge probably shouldn't deal with DUIs, but, like, If he's still your judge, he's the judge. His particular actions in the past that presumably he has paid for, because he's not in jail currently, so I assume he dealt with it however it was dealt with, either through a plea or getting a license revoked, whatever. Your case is irrelevant to that. Your case is a separate thing, and him adjudicating that case is not changed based on his past actions.
He didn't think that they were going to allow someone to adjudicate behind the bench who has 2 felonies and DUIs attached to their name, their corporation name, because of what he has done. And I've got some video clips today that I want to share with you, so you can see just, it's on the looping video that you saw. If you did not get to see it, you'll get to see some of that here today on the live show. But this judge has twice literally was so inebriated and drunk that he crashed his car both times. The first time into his mailbox in his own neighborhood, and the second time he crashed it, I don't know, it looked like on one of those cement barriers. It was kind of heaved up on top of a cement barrier. It might have been in the Kennewick area, and it was only at 6:43 p.m. when the police had, gone up to him. They had the first responders there. They had the fire department there, and they had him sign off. He was so inebriated, and you're going to see that. I'm bringing...
Yeah, that's bad, Kat. I don't understand what she's trying to get across here. She's basically trying to say 2 wrongs make a right? It's not good that he did that. I'm glad he presumably was arrested and charged and something was dealt with through that. That has nothing to do with your case. His criminality in the past has no bearing on his ability to adjudicate your case.
All this up because, again, here I am facing...
We're about to elect a president with 34 felonies for some ungodly reason. No, we're not. Go vote and not for Trump.
Someone who is a judge and who, by the way...
It is funny, though, because she is a Trump supporter, so that's a little ironic that she cares about people's criminal record.
Threatened me in court, and you're going to see that, too. But and he's got felonies. It's just like Bob Ferguson, the Attorney General. He's got a felony for malfeasance, and he shouldn't even be in office right now. Because of what he did, his position was dissolved.
Emperor Brush says, with a quote, Judge Tanner has been censured by the Washington Commission on Judicial Conduct, but was allowed to stay on the bench. Records show that the commission recommended a month-long suspension, treatment for alcoholism, and that Tanner not be allowed to hear DUI cases. Yeah, again, that seems pretty reasonable to me. Can't hear DUI cases. That makes sense. I hope he got treatment.
The corporation of state of Washington is still paying him. They've been notified too. These people are liable, personally liable, because Bob Ferguson is on the pamphlet, the voter pamphlet for the state of Washington governor race. We have been sending notices out on him, and he was working with the judge who originally adjudicated against me, Joseph Burrows out of Benton County, also a district judge, a hearing officer. And they're on the other side of the spectrum as far as politics, but that doesn't matter, right? It's all about pushing the bus of the system. And so that's what's going on right now. And me, I'm going to challenge these things because it's all bullshit. That's what it is. I'm sorry. That's exactly what it is. We are living in a world of bullshit. And so we need to get out of this, and we have to stop allowing these people demanding and ordering and directing us to do this and to do that and the other when they are committing crimes against the people. This is crimes against humanity. They have no right, no jurisdiction over the people to be using the police departments and the sheriff departments to do their dirty work with these fraudulent court orders that don't meet up to the law of the land. And so I just wanted to go ahead and share that just kind of give my introduction. And this time I'm not forgetting you. I'm going to look at the chat really quickly and see how things are going. Ooh, we're getting comments already. Thank you so much, everybody. Let's see, what do we got here? 3D6. You're grateful for the little things: running water, coffee, and heat. Freeze warning tonight here in the hills of Virginia. Okay, well, in Virginia, if you're
I do
out
like
in
her
that
glasses,
way,
yeah.
it's cold. It's still actually pretty decent here where I live in Washington State, but it's getting noticeably colder, and they've been spraying the crud out of us all day long today.
I'm gonna skip that and get to the court hearing. I think she
goes too, because somebody was nice enough to post the cam footage. So I'm going to start this off.
It is our position that there is no genuine issue of material fact, and the plaintiff is entitled to a judgment as a matter of law, and would also ask the court dismiss or deny the defendant's motion to dismiss. Thank you.
Mr. Espinita, anything you'd like to say?
I sent my answer certified mail on October 10th for an arrival date of October 12th to the district court, and it doesn't show that it's been received on your end. My Honor, have you had a chance to...
I love how she calls the judges my honor. All the little word games they like to play, they're so specific and interesting. My honor.
Thoroughly go through and understand.
Yeah, this is the DUI judge, I guess.
And my answer to the court.
I have not. Let me just take a look here.
It was sent last night at 6:55 p.m. via email, since it wasn't shown that it was received USPS certified mail. I want to make sure you fully understand my answer before you make a decision.
I don't see that your response ever was received by the court.
It shows via USPS that has not been delivered, and that's why I sent it via email last night at 6:55 p.m. and asked for it to be delivered to you and to the court clerk immediately. It was sent on the 10th, so it had plenty of time to get there. I'm not sure what the delay is.
Your Honor, we did receive the response in opposition, and also...
You have a copy of that?
I do not have it with me, no, I'm sorry. But we did file a reply. Is that not showing as well?
No, your reply is here.
Okay. Our reply also attached a copy of the order from the Eastern District of Washington dismissing all of the defendants.
I do rebut all presumptions of law, and I require a trial by
I rebut all assumptions of law. Oh, we're going to be here for a while.
Of my peers, if this is not dismissed, as I have motioned for the case to be dismissed, as there was no proof provided by the plaintiff that I owe this alleged debt. And, you know, I want to...
Sekhmet the Wise with a $20 tip says if Lady Gaga exists, then what happened to Sir Goo Goo? Funny. Thank you very much for the tip. Gets us closer to costume month, 2 costume months. I talked about it earlier, but if we get this costume month goal by the end of Sunday, we will get 2 costume months.
Remind you that the Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch is touring the nation and exposing judges adjudicating against the people without due process, which is required. So, if you approve the motion for such...
Ma'am, I don't even see that you filed any response to their motion for summary judgment.
He just said that he received it, and there is an affidavit of proof.
He received it, but the court has not received anything.
Okay, then I motion for an extension for 2 weeks so that you have a chance to thoroughly go through my answer. I want to make sure you fully understand my answer before you make a judgment for the plaintiff.
I don't have it, so I can't fully understand your response to their motion.
It was sent at 6:50. I did file it with the court. I did file it with the court, but it got sent certified mail October 10th, and it's not been received for some reason. So.
Right. We don't have it. You're exactly right.
You do have it. It was sent 6:55 p.m. last night via email to the district court, and I asked them.
That's not timely at all.
I sent it October 10th.
To send it at 7 o'clock on the night before the hearing is not timely filing.
I sent it October 10th, 2024. Would you like Would you like the USPS number to prove that I sent it?
Get here, did it. So obviously you didn't do it in time.
Okay, so are you going to adjudicate against me with no due process?
Oh man, she really needs to get a lawyer. I know she's completely never going to because she thinks they're traitors, but oh my goodness, she needs a lawyer.
Since you didn't file a response,
I did file it. However, it did not get there, and I sent it. Yes, it did. Yes, I sent it October 10th, which is legal and lawful. It's legal and lawful.
It's not filed if the court didn't receive it.
You received it last night at 6:55 p.m.
Just gonna go in a circle for a while, I guess. It's like a roundabout.
And I can prove that.
I'm not working at 6:55 p.m., ma'am.
Do you work for the people, or do you work for the agencies? Who do you work for?
Who do you work for?
The County of Benton.
You work for the people. We pay your salary. You work for the
I'm
people.
elected by the County of Benton.
You're selected by the County of Benton.
People of the state of the County of Benton County.
Okay, so Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch is currently touring the country.
He's bringing this up in front of the judge?
Exposing people like you wearing black robes who are merely hearing officers, adjudicating against the people without due process. I am requiring and demanding due process in this situation.
Do you know what your due process is?
Yeah.
It requires you to file your responses in a timely manner.
And I did so. And I did so.
And you didn't do that.
It was said by you. It said by USPS that it was going to be delivered on October 12th, and it was not delivered on October 12th.
You can be quiet right now, Miss Bandita.
Oh, she is a sovereign citizen, appy joy. She doesn't call herself that, but she is.
I don't have a date at this time. If the court is inclined to continue, would a electronic appearance be permitted under the circumstances?
For you, yes. For Ms. Spinda, no. Ms. Spinda, you're going to be here in court on your next court date, and then you can present me with
Oh boy, that's on November 5th. Mark my calendar.
the copy in the case something doesn't get properly filed. I can't just ask you for
She's saying it's discrimination because she has to be there in person, but the lawyer doesn't.
a copy of it right now.
Okay, well, I do demand due process, a jury of my peers, a trial by jury, which I am allowed to have under the Washington State Constitution, which you have to follow.
Mrs. Spinda,
Do you not have to follow the Constitution? Do you not follow the Constitution?
Or do you want to be held in contempt of court? So I can
Do you not follow the Constitution?
This is pre-trial, I believe.
Do you not follow it? Do you not follow it? Do you?
Oh, God, she's really not doing good for her case right now. She's just getting into verbal altercations with the judge. You never want to do that. Green guy with a $5 tip says, I went to the ER today due to abdominal pain. I got blood work tests and a CT scan done. Turned out my intestines were inflamed. Cost me nothing. I want everyone to have that. Oh, well, I'm glad it's not, like, serious. I'm sorry that you're feeling not good, though. Thank you for the tip.
Do you not follow the Constitution?
Do you want to be quiet right now and listen to me?
See, so is this a threat? Are you threatening me?
I am not threatening you. I'm telling you, you are in contempt of court for continually interrupting me, and that contempt is punishable by jail. So I am letting you know what your rights are and what the facts are here. And if you continue to interrupt me, then I will find you in contempt and throw you in jail. All right? So here's what's going to happen. If you would listen to me, I will finish, and then I'll be done, and you'll be done.
Thank you.
I'm going to continue this. I'm going to continue this case because the court has not received your documents, so I'm going to give you the courtesy. I'm not required because you didn't file them in time. I'm going to give you the courtesy
of continuing your case so that I can read all of your arguments, because if you have valid arguments, I want to be able to uphold them. And
That's nice that the judges, despite her argumentative nature, saying, hey, sure, I'll listen to your arguments. I'm sure he knows they're going to be nonsense, too. But that's good that he's going to read them.
protect your rights, all right?
I
That's
do
what I'm here.
appreciate that.
I am a neutral judge. I don't work for one side or the other.
I do
want to
appreciate
get
that.
to justice. I want to do justice, and I want everybody to follow the rules. Okay?
I
So
do
here's what's
appreciate
going to
that.
happen.
I do appreciate it.
Will you be quiet and listen? Finish? Let me finish. All right. You will be here on November 5th at 8:30 a.m.
And I will be protected though, right?
You do not...
Protected by what?
Be quiet.
From what?
You do not have permission to appear via WebEx.
Oh, now she's laughing at him. Oh, no.
You'll be here personally at 8:30 a.m. on that date, and I will consider the motion for summary judgment at that time.
And they won't be there in person.
The thing is, Jay's a proxy. I have the case. I just don't know what to do with it. Am I just going to read it in its totality? Was that the case where they're making sovereign citizens basically pay court costs to punish them for this stuff? Because that's interesting. I don't know if I want to read the whole case, though.
I'm not requiring him. He's here right now. He's ready to go. I have all of his paperwork, including the reply to your response. I don't have your response. I can't make a decision. He's done everything he's supposed to do. I want you here. So if I have questions and I need further documentation from you, you're here to provide that for me. See?
But it's just, bringing me into your court.
Honey?
I'm not a honey.
Yeah, don't call people in court honey. That's not appropriate. Cat sucks, but I don't think that's appropriate, and I think that's pretty sexist. Judges shouldn't be calling people little pet names in court. That's not okay.
What's the honey and vinegar? You get more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. All right.
Do we need an order to that effect, Your Honor, or
No.
we need to send a readout?
We'll just send notice out that the motion's been continued.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Espenda.
Okay, maybe it is. Okay, maybe that is the one I wanted to read then. Mead versus Meads. I'm sorry. Oh, she's muted. Muted herself. How long did she go without realizing she's muted?
When he's
There
done
it is.
crying. Oh, and I said all that too. I'm so sorry. Basically, I was just saying that so here he is, somebody who is a felon, and yet he can sit behind the bench, which is again a bank, and adjudicate.
Not a bank.
Against people when he's done crimes himself, just like I said, Bob Ferguson earlier. So again, I'm so sorry about that. I did not mute myself, so I don't know why it actually muted. I'm gonna take this picture off. Yeah, I had added this picture here in the, let's see, second ago.
I don't think the video is edited. I think, like, when that thing came up, that's like a graphic she came up with before the live stream, and is just doing this all in real time. That's why she was muted when she came back, is because when she went to that pre-prepared clip, she was muting herself so people could watch on the live stream. So this is a live stream. She's just doing all the production stuff live.
What?
Similar to how, like, this is a live stream, but like, oh, look, I'm on another screen. Like, you might argue, oh, you edited this. Not really, though. It's live. I'm live doing things. You know what I mean? Oh, look, I'm on this screen now. That's basically what she's doing.
No. Oh, I don't know why I'm trying to share a picture here. Okay. But anyways, okay. So I've proven over and over again that these people do not work for us. He said it himself in the court case. Hearing officer Terry Tanner said that he works and was elected by the county of Benton, and that he works for the county of Benton, and he's right.
Yes, the county of Benton is a constituency. He's discussing it as a constituency of people who elected him, which I think electing judges is fucked up anyway. I'm not in favor of judges being elected, to be honest, but regardless, that is what he was saying.
Because the oath of office that I have witnessed at the county of Benton, they all work for the county of Benton. It doesn't say anywhere on there that they work for the people. So I guess at least he was honest. Do you see? Do you hear? They don't work for us. He said it right then and there. And when I brought that up, it's like, you work for the people. Oh, no. But I mean, what did you think about how he went off on the word Constitution? When I asked him, he's like, do you not follow the Constitution, Mrs. Spinda? Mrs. Spinda? No, my God. It was just like...
Yeah, he's upset that you're impugning his reputation.
Like he was like...
At least attempting to.
Like, I don't know, some monster in the background, like... If you were to see the clip, like you were able to see how he was reacting, I mean, he was just losing it. And this is who's overseeing the court cases in Benton County. And so I'm going to be showing you some more video of Mr. Tanner, Mr. Capital Letters Tanner, because he's a corporation sold out to the county and to the codes and to his job and his brotherhood. He's sold out humanity, and a lot of people have. And in the background, they're doing nefarious things. And I was actually kind of shocked to find that this was all kind of going on in the background. You know, when I started to kind of dig and look into him, I was shocked at what I found. And so anyways, I'm going to show you some interesting footage. Now, this first footage that I'm going to show you is where he lies to the cops about who he is and that being his car.
All right. And then she goes on to just cover the DUI video, which, yeah, DUIs are really fucking awful, but also it's not a sovereign citizen. So I'm going to move on from there. But yeah, Kat's still antagonizing judges that she is dealing with, and can't imagine it's going to go good for her. Be interesting seeing on November 5th what, if anything, comes of the next interaction. We'll keep an eye out for that. Move on.
Welcome.
All right, the gentleman at DDC, who's next? DDC.
I can't go back. Oh, that was the chair. I did not give him permission to do anything other than a couple hours. Detain me for questioning and then to release me.
Say your name.
The owner of the gas station.
Say your name.
Live. Now, my property
Say your
is
name.
Armand Traffic Bay. That's my property. Follow the UCC. I'll represent myself.
What is all this fucking extra noise? People need to be muted.
Sir, can you please say your name?
My property is Quincy Armand Traffic Bay. It is my name, it's my property.
His name is his property.
Quincy.
Also another Michigan one.
Traffic Bay, sir?
Yes, Quincy Armand with a D. Traffic Bay.
Okay.
That's my property.
Thank you, Mr. Traffic Bay.
Judge, hold on one second,
please. Ms. Shaina,
No.
Spoken with Mr. Traffic Bay, because he said he spoke with someone.
I don't, there's that person is not on the defense counsel.
Could you take him off the camera of men's 2, please, DDC, and put him on camera 4? Because he has not spoken with Ms. Shaina. We need to speak with him. He said he spoke with someone.
No, sir.
Jesus, where is all this noise coming
no, ma'am.
from?
His first name is Quincy.
My property. Property.
Quincy Traffic Bay.
That's my
Thank
property.
you.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Traffic Bay, this is Magistrate Chartea. Not only are you here on criminal matter, but you're also here on misdemeanor matter, where you did not show up for court. These misdemeanor matters, you're gonna get a personal bond where we're calling the warrants. You're gonna, nobody has to pay money for you to get out of jail. Maximum penalty up to 93 days jail and or $500 fine. First ticket and only ticket is P1587822. Driving under a untitled vehicle, no insurance, misdemeanor. I'm gonna enter plea of not guilty. Court date is November 7th, 2024. Pre-trial in front of Judge.
I know he's on camera from jail. I'm just surprised the other people in the room are allowed to talk that much. You'd think the guards would be like, hey, they're doing a discussion with the judge. Be quiet.
Garrett, Mr. Travis Bay, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you
Seems like they did a little bit now, but
say, orally or writing, it can be used against you in a court of law. Right to an attorney, have that attorney present during questioning. If you're unable to afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you, court expense. Understand those rights, sir.
I'm just a Title 42 attorney appointed, a Title 42 lawyer that could be appointed to me. I can understand that. But I understand everything you're saying as long as it's a Title 42
Okay,
lawyer.
thank you. Mr. Travis Bay, let me tell you the criminal matter. Case number 240-598-6501. You have an attorney. Counsel Reagan, is that you?
Your Honor,
Representing him?
on behalf of Mr. Quincy Travis Bay, Your Honor. I was able to tell Bay of what he's charged with, armed robbery, the maximum penalty. At the price, Judge, I would ask the court, well, let me stop there and I'll let the court proceed.
Counsel, you wait for Reagan, stand you.
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. I'm gonna enter a plea of not guilty. Court dates are October 16, 2024. It is a probable cause conference. Followed by preliminary examination, October 23rd, 2024. Those matters are in front of Judge Jefferson. Mr. Travis Bay, there's some bond conditions, sir. One is you're not to possess any firearms or any other dangerous weapons, including knives, machetes, pepper sprays, tasers. You are not to have any contact on a Ferris Mohammed. That means no person-to-person contact, no contact to third parties, no phone calls, no emails, no text messaging. Let's see.
He stole my Bible. He was right behind his car on camera. And he told me to leave. And I did what he said.
Okay, Mr. Travis Bay, everything is being recorded. Please don't say anything about the alleged incident, sir. Appreciate it. And
please.
Oh, you are not to go to the location 800 East 7 Mile. Do you understand those bond conditions, sir? Okay. Counsel Coyle, go ahead, ask the bond, please.
Yes, Your Honor. The people in this matter are asking for $75,000 cash surety, tether, house arrest. People note that this is all.
Yeah, don't yell when it's the prosecution's time to suggest a bond. Wait for your turn.
Reported on a video that Mr. Travis Bay was at the gas station harassing customers. The complainant asked him to leave. He displayed a knife and threatened to kill him.
Oh wow, he needs to stop. He needs to stop talking. He's trying to argue about the case during the arraignment.
More than one time. He then proceeded to take items from the gas station convenience area at knife point. The police arrested him shortly thereafter with the items and the knife. The complainant identified him at the scene. I do note that Mr. Travis Bay has a history of drug offenses as well as a 1994 great bodily harm, 2 counts in which he did prison time. He was eventually, his last time of being on probation or parole was May 5th of 23. I believe that it appears that from the file as well as from the arraignment today, that Mr. Travis Bay may suffer from some mental issues. Based on that, the assaultive allegations that.
Wow, he really needs to stop. I'm surprised the judge isn't telling him to stop.
Fourth, I'm asking for that. And his prior assaultive record, I'm asking for that cash surety bond with the tether house arrest. And of course, no contact with the gas station. And the complaint.
God, the soundscape is a shit show.
Go back to that location. Is that correct, Counsel Coyle?
Yeah.
Okay. Counsel Reagan, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, Judge, he won't go back to that location. Just said he won't go back. We're asking for $75,000 personal bond with the GPS tether. and the Your Honor, I would note that he is 48, lives in the city, so he has ties to the community, Judge. Does have priors.
His ties to the community because he lives there.
Spoil the estate. You know, but I understand it seems menacing, but it's very dangerous, Judge. Whenever you talk about a alleged weapon, I do understand that. But as Mr. Traffic Bay said, he cannot go back, have no contact. And if you put him on house arrest, Judge, he can't go out the house. So I would ask for the personal bond for him with whatever conditions the court.
Thank you. And the court will note that the charge of armed robbery falls under the court rules 6.106, where this case can be remandable. Nobody is asking for remand on the people's side, but they are asking for a monetary amount. Court uses clear and convincing evidence standard. Court had the opportunity to look at the investigator's report. Allegedly, while the incident is caught on CCTV footage, supposedly they observed a knife in Mr. Traffic Bay's hand. Allegedly, and the allegations is that he threatened to kill at least one individual. They tried to stop him because he had just stolen some multiple items. Let's see what else.
So I stopped for the police. And the owner told me to leave. Usually I wait for the police.
Oh my God, stop talking about the case.
He said leave. I said okay. My bike was.
I feel like the lawyer should be like, hey, shut up, shut your mouth.
Gone.
Mr. Traffic Bay, you don't need to say anything more, please. Court uses clear and convincing evidence standard. Court is going to adopt the recommendation, $75,000 cash surety. We're not going to place
$75,000 cash as surety. Usually you can put like 10% down, I think, on that. Probably get that from a bail bondsman. Not ideal. Definitely not ideal.
a GPS tether on Mr. Traffic Bay. This is an unaffordable bond, Councilor Reagan, is that correct?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, that means he's gonna get another court date this Friday, October 11th. Okay, in front of Friday, October 11th, 9 o'clock, in front of Judge McConnell or Judge Williams, who'll look at the bond amount and bond conditions.
Do I get a personal bond now?
No, sir, you're getting another court date.
Oh wow, he's like shocked he's getting remanded to custody until that next hearing at least.
Judge is gonna be looking at the bond amount or bond conditions.
Can I get the bond personally at least so I can get out of here and see my?
No, sir. No, sir, you're getting another court date this Friday.
That's days
You're
away.
getting a court date this Friday. You're not getting a personal bond, Mr. Travis Bay. Thank you, sir. You can step aside.
Come on, man, let's go.
I find that I'm asking please interesting. Let's see what ended up happening. His bond redetermination hearing. Apparently the bond was lowered, it says. They put him on a tether. They just put him on a tether.
You can't fix.
Black's Law Dictionary request. Jay's proxy. What would you like me to look up in Black's Law Dictionary? Something like booby trap or something around where it would be. Okay. Go over here and see.
And does Mr. Weems have a camera?
Are you able to turn the camera, Mr. Weems?
He did so, Your Honor.
Okay.
How you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
All right, Mr. Weems, are you wishing to continue to represent yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that the most
booby booby trap, a concealed or camouflaged device designed to be triggered by an unsuspecting victim, loosely any device which catches a person off guard.
Folks would say that's a terrible idea and that you'll do much better with an attorney.
Oh yeah, this is the Weems guy again.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you represent yourself, you still need to comply with all the court rules and the law, and that you're not given a break just because you have not, because you don't have a law license?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're scheduled for
I think this is a sequel to the previous video. I could be wrong, though.
for pretrial today. Mr. Weems,
I don't even know if it's a sequel as much. Like, I don't think it's part of the same criminal claim. I think this is a separate incident, separate charge.
were you wishing to go to trial?
Actually, I don't know. Can I go in a breakout with, I guess it's the prosecutor or whoever I need to be talking to?
If you want to talk with him, then I will give you an adjournment and let you talk with him another time, but I need him to run the docket.
Yes, Your Honor, I have no problem with an adjournment in this matter. The people did communicate.
Sorry, I just have this pile of old, like, B-movie posters and other movie posters that I have. I use them as bookmarks and other things. I was just thinking to myself, I wish that these were like a tarot deck, but of old B-movie posters. It's a spin-off movie. The Sovereign Citizen Cinematic Universe.
An offer the last time that we were on the docket, and that offer still stands as pleading to count one, dismissing the remainder with a probationary sentence agreement. If the court would allow, I can give Mr. Weems my contact information so he can call me if he has anything that he would like to discuss.
Mr. Weems, you need to remain on video, please. Did you hear what Mr. Danner said?
Which movies would be which card? I don't know enough about tarot cards to make jokes about it.
Okay, and would you like his contact information so you can speak with him?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead, Mr.
Right.
Danner.
Okay, so the line to reach me here is, and my name is Lou Danner, so when you call, you just ask for Lou Danner. The number here is 734-222-6620. That is the way to reach me by phone. If you would like to email me at the prosecutor's office.
M. Scheffler with 100 bits says, how would someone tip you and why should they, Hannah? With this link. And because I have to make an appointment to go to Planned Parenthood to get more hormones. So if you want to help me do that, use the tip link. And if we get to this costume month goal by the end of Sunday, or over it, we're going to do 2 costume months.
You can feel free to email me there.
That's
or
60 days of me in silly costumes.
To call the office line, and I will be more than happy to discuss this matter with you. And please be advised to not discuss any actual factual basis of the case, as I do not represent you, and I want to make sure you protect your constitutional interests and not say things to me that may be used against you later.
Yeah, I know who you are.
Mr. Weems, we tried to mail your birth certificate back to you and it came back as undeliverable. Is there another address that we could send it to?
Interesting. I wonder why they needed his birth certificate. Oh, they didn't need it. Duh, he sent it. He probably sent it because they think that that's the straw man you. So he probably sent them his birth certificate being like, here's the defendant.
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
All right, what is that?
Oh, he's muted.
No, Ypsilanti, Michigan. Sorry.
That's where I was talking about earlier with the 3 Christs thing. They also have a tower that looks like a penis. They call it the Brick Dick. True story. Google it.
48197 or 98?
non-native, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Mr. Weems. We'll adjourn your matter to next week, to June 7. That'll be at 1:30, okay?
Mom's birthday. All right. Love you. Thank you.
Your Honor, is that the date that I just want to make sure there's enough time for Mr. Wayne to actually reach out to me and contact me? Because I know, does the 7th work for you to be able to reach out to me and discuss this case before that date? All right,
Yes, sir.
he's nodding. Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. You're all set, Mr. Weems.
All right, you guys have a nice one. Thank you.
Thank you, too.
Yep.
Number 15 on the docket, People versus Bobby Cunningham, 22147 FH.
Lou Danner for the people.
Cunningham here.
Wow, got 2 sob sits back to back.
Mr. Cunningham, do you still wish to represent yourself?
Yes, remain as always, which basically I put in documentation sent to the court. May have you reviewed or made a decision from there. Go ahead now.
Mr. Cunningham, what I have from you was from April, and it appeared to be an attempt to write a subpoena. And
Yes, madam.
I'm sorry?
I say yes.
Okay.
Subpoena.
I'm not going to sign that subpoena. First of all, it's not in the right format. And second of all, it's directed to people who are not subject to subpoena, court officers.
All right, well, excuse me, that's the only one.
Who was he trying to subpoena?
Of them. If I may, excuse me, quote unquote, put my words on top of your words. One of them, that's only one of them. The second one is actually showing, which has wrote the subpoena for, stating when I had got identification within the jurisdiction. Now, to the jurisdiction that I came from before I came here is not the same, madam. Sorry. At the same point in time, I have not got no correspondence with the subpoenas that I have put out, what I have put in the workers myself, and also its contract to solidify these subpoenas to the necessary people that it's supposed to go to. Now, from there.
Yeah, I'm having trouble following him, to be honest. He sounds a little bit like David Liebhart. Does anyone know David?
Another star.
Song about Chip. Hold on. Where's Chip?
Email's the best way to communicate with your friends, better than that antique telephone you have at home. And we made a song up about it, and this is how it goes.
God damn it, YouTube. Why do you have to pause at the worst times, you play this man? Genius.
And we made a song up about it, and this is how it goes. And this is Albert Herman. He's going to sing it with me. Hi, nice to see ya. Email's a great way to stay in touch with one another. It's all right. Jump online and write to a friend and stay in touch forever.
Okay, That's my detour. That's my tangent. Back to sob sits. I need to use the bathroom real quick. I'm gonna do that, and then we'll continue. I will be back in just a sec. While I'm gone, Cher will tell you about Dario Argento's Phenomena. We did it. Be right back. Let's see what we're doing next.
All right, Mr. McQuarrie, I'm ready.
I don't know how this stuff work. I'm new to this, so I'm 50.
Okay, well, sir, hold on now. Are you okay? All right, this is case number 02-561-9901. The people of the state of Michigan versus Carnell McQuarrie. The defendant is charged with 1 count of assault or assault and battery. Today is the date set for pre-trial conference. And Mr. McQuarrie, your name?
Ernell Michael McQuarrie, ill, all lowercase, not the all caps corporation.
Nobody writes the name in all caps. All right. So today is the date set for
court documents often have things in all caps for legibility reasons. That's what he's referencing. Because they think that the all caps name indicates a separate legal entity from the person with that actual name. They're, of course, incorrect.
A pretrial conference, and Mr. McQuarrie, I understand that you are representing yourself. So how do you wish to proceed, sir?
First and foremost, if I may address the court and ask the court a few questions, with all due respect, may I speak?
I don't answer questions to counsel. I don't answer questions. That's not my role.
Well, I just wanted to say, you know, when I first came onto the Zoom, I felt that this court was disrespectful and restrained my First Amendment right to allocate myself here in this courtroom. And I'm not saying this as a personal attack, but that's just how I felt.
He is wearing a fez. That's a Moorish citizen thing, which is a subset of sovereign citizens that believe it's a sort of a black nationalist thing. They think that black people are secretly the indigenous population of the United States and were there as part of the global Moroccan Empire. So they give themselves the name of Moorish, which is an actual name for people from Morocco, you know? But they're not. They think they are, as part of their mythology.
Okay, Mr.
Why a fez? Because it's a Moroccan thing. The fezes are famous from Morocco because the red bright dyes that are used to make the red fez hats originate from Morocco. So it's like a industry there. It's just a thing that's associated with Morocco.
Mr. McQuarrie, all due respect, I'm not interested in your feelings, sir. I'm here to conduct court. So let's conduct court. How do you wish to proceed as it relates to your court matter?
I would like to challenge the plenary jurisdiction of this court as outlined by state Supreme Court.
Today is not the date for a motion. If you would like to file a motion with the court, I can give you a motion hearing date. But otherwise, I want to know as it relates to this pretrial conference where you've indicated that you want to represent yourself. It is your responsibility to understand the rules of court and how to represent yourself. Today is only the date set for a pretrial conference. As it relates to the pretrial conference, how do you wish to proceed?
Well, if I may speak without being restrained again by the court.
Oh, that's especially you can tell this judge isn't like dealing with any nonsense. She's shutting it down immediately with like contempt, not literal court contempt, just like you can tell she's contemptful of this stuff. So I feel like the back talking is a bad strategy here with any judge, but in particular, she is not going to put up with it.
Be restrained every time you go off course. So understand every time you go off course, you're going to be restrained. You're going to be restrained in the same way that I would restrain any other person, any other lawyer, any other person who's not coming to court and addressing the court in the way that you're supposed to address the court for the pre-trial conference. So I'm asking you, Mr. McQuarrie, as it relates to the pre-trial conference, how do you wish to proceed?
I would like to ask that this court remove itself under MCR 2.003 for judicial bias.
You would like the judge to remove herself or the court to remove itself for bias?
And once this motion,
why? On what basis?
Is denied. Anything further?
Well,
it is funny when they come up against the reality that the judge is the ultimate arbiter of what like gets to happen in the courtroom, and they just file their nonsense motions or ask for them verbally, and the judge just goes, nah, no. They don't know what to do at that point.
I would like to have it sent to the chief judge as required by the rule.
Mr. Flanagan, please call the chief judge and let him know that there's a request for recusal by Mr. McQuarrie and ask him how does he wish to proceed with the hearing for Mr. McQuarrie.
Oh my God, she's actually doing it.
Yes, Your Honor. Violating code of judicial conduct, judge. And I haven't been
doing this for 16 years. I know what I'm supposed to do. So, Mr. McQuarrie, I'm addressing your request on the recusal. So everything else, we're going to stop talking until I hear from the chief judge as to whether he wants you to come now or if he's going to give you a date.
Okay.
Thank you.
Rule, man.
Okay, thank you, Mr. McQuarrie. Thank you, Mr. McQuarrie.
Thank you.
Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
They indicated that he would need to file a motion for recusal before you, and if you deny that, it then goes to the chief judge.
He already did. I accepted his oral motion. I denied it. So tell them it's denied. I'm not requiring him to file a written motion. The court rules don't require a written motion. He requested thank you for affirmation, but I don't need it. He requested the recusal and I denied it. So ask them how do they want to proceed. I can sign an order of denial if they want me to just do an order of denial.
I didn't see that, Bonkle Fox.
But I've denied the recusal request.
Yes, Your Honor, the order of denial needs to be signed.
And then they're going to give him a date. In past times, some chief judges take the matter up immediately. So I just want to know, do they want me to give them a date?
Okay. Your Honor, no date. They said just sign the order and we'll bring it up. They'll contact them for a date.
All right. So, Mr. McQuarrie, please contact my courtroom. Make sure that my clerk has your current contact information. And apparently the chief judge's office is going to contact you with respect to your request for recusal. I will sign an order denying your request and then forward that to the chief. Okay?
How You say, who do I call? The clerk? What is,
Sir, if you just, I mean, I promise you, I've been on the bench for 16 years, and I promise you, if you just let me talk, I mean, everything you want to know will be revealed. I promise you. Okay. So as I was saying, you're going to contact my courtroom and you will speak with the clerk. Make sure the clerk has your current contact information so that the chief judge's office can contact you.
Oh, he's raising his hand.
Hearing on my denial of your request for recusal. Anything further with respect to this matter? Please don't unmute. Who is saying hello?
Oh, can I speak or no?
Oh, well, what else is there, Mr. McQuarrie?
I would like to just say this, Judge. I have nothing personal with you. It's just that
Mr. McQuarrie, I don't take things personally. Ms. McQuarrie, let me say something to you. So since we're talking, let's talk. If you would let the matter proceed, this is an old case. So let me just say that this case is from 2002. And maybe if you had
Jesus Christ, that's an old case.
Watched my courtroom.
That's like a 20-year-old case.
On YouTube, maybe you would have seen how these old cases from 2002 are handled. And then we could have came on here and it would have been handled the same way. However, we're going to proceed in the manner that you wish to proceed. And so I'm not going to keep going on because you've asked me to recuse myself. I have denied the recusal. You have requested an appeal. I have granted that appeal, and that concludes the matter. Is there anything further that is needed for the record? Because you don't have to tell me it's not personal. I could care less about, I don't take things personal. Why would I take things personal?
I take it personal because as a Black man, a 50-year-old man,
She's also Black?
Has nothing to do with you being a 50-year-old Black man. This has anything to do with you being a defendant in this courtroom. Is there any legal thing for the record? Is there any legal matter for the record?
The prosecutors.
That's true. I didn't even notice everyone. There's not a single white person on screen. I didn't even notice. That's funny. That's fucking funny.
Office has committed a felony against me.
Okay, well, you can address that with whoever. You can address that with the appropriate parties, but I'm not. All right, so I'm going to assume that this matter, as it relates to the pretrial conference for Mr. McQuarrie, is concluded, unless there's something for the record on behalf of the people.
No, Judge, thank you.
All right, then, sir, you're all set. You have a great day, and you stay safe.
Oh, yeah.
What a jerk. What else? Moorish National Republic federal government announces universal recognition is the name of this video.
I am Judge Light Tajiri in pro.
Not actually a judge. That's a self-appointed title.
Propria personas juris, in proprio solo, and in proprio heredis. I and all Moorish American nationals are both Aboriginal and indigenous to this land of North America, Asia, Amexem, ancient Morocco, the North Gate. We are the descendants of the great pharaohs of Kemet and of the Moabites and Canaanites. We are the executors, ministers, trustees, claimants, beneficiaries, and heirs to our own vast estate, which is all land, all natural resources.
When you're filming a video, turn off your ringer and your vibrator. You know what I mean. When you are filming a video, turn your phone silent.
To include all gold, silver, oil, minerals, water, crops, and ancient finds. And we are the rightful heirs to all commercial contracts at North America, South America, Central America, and the adjoining islands. We are exercising all of our sovereign rights and benefits at this time and at all points in time.
It depends on what kind of streaming you're doing. I haven't gotten that desperate yet.
Our
great
prophet Noble Ali was brilliant. He did indeed give us a masterfully executed example to follow to free ourselves. When he placed the religious corporation affidavit of organization
Joan Corbell says, wow, so they own the entire world apparently. It's real easy when you can just say stuff.
10-5905 on the record in Chicago. This very act made us our own freestanding government at North America. The document did indeed not
She didn't even refilm this. It's like a 6-minute video. She could have easily refilmed this.
Incorporate the Moorish temples under the United States Corporation Company, and in fact and at law, it did just the opposite. His document stated for the record that we are not a corporation under any other de facto corporations, but that we are a naturally created, Aboriginal, Indigenous, universally recognized sovereign state on our own land, and are now organized as a unified living body. However, it was not enforced by the Moorish temples as a whole, and the recording has since been covered by addendums added by others in all capital letters, according to the Cook County Recorder website. Additionally, the term corporation has been hypothecated, but that is not something that a little study will not clear up. Knowing the difference between a corporation in all capital letters, a corporation in lowercase letters yet created by a non-Indigenous person like the Vatican, and then the profits of
the Vatican is a non-Indigenous person.
Colonial,
confirmed.
Original, Indigenous, expressly created corporation, which is not filed by application under any corporation. That's key. This is the same dynamic that we see where names and appellations are concerned. The Vatican soon mimicked our prophet's action, and they too became a state, but with major differences as they are not sovereign by nature. Our prophet left us with a highly intelligent and magnificent example to follow. Therefore, we have done just that. We at the de jure Moorish National Republic.
I gotta turn this off. The ringer is just driving me absolutely crazy. I can't with it.
Here's the truth they don't tell you about the birth certificate. Now, in this video, I'm going to need you to pay close attention because I am going to be connecting this with some banking terms as all this is centered around banking. First things first, that birth certificate does not represent a living child. And here's how we...
It does. It's literally a certificate of live birth for a child that will be a person. It is a person. It's just a baby person, but you know what I mean.
You can prove it. Book reference. The entity created at...
Oh, it's another one of these. Look, it's in a book, and all books are created equally. Obviously, that book he pulled from.
And here's how we can prove it.
I believe this is a self-published Amazon book that he may have published himself. At the very least, the bay at the end shows that it is a Moorish sovereign citizen. So a sovereign citizen wrote this book, and he's going, look, in this sovereign citizen book, it says sovereign citizen things. That means I'm right.
Book reference. The entity created at birth. Upon careful examination, you will find that all birth certificates have these things in common. 1. The name of the artificial person/entity is written in all capital letters.
It's not an artificial person or entity, it's the name of your child.
2. Identifying numbers and or barcodes associated with the document. And sometimes it'll look like this. 3. The birth certificate is printed on bond paper and it typically...
Do birth certificates have barcodes in some places? Mine didn't. That was a while ago, though I was born in the 90s, so I don't know what they look like now.
Has the name of the company.
Either way, any place where it has barcodes like that, it's for administrative, easy, like, identification purposes, so it can be scanned into a system and easily identified in a database.
Company that prints it somewhere on there. So, for example, the one printed on my certified birth certificate is Northern Banknote Company, and Northern Banknote Company specializes in making stock certificates.
I would imagine they specialize in making all sorts of certificates that have security measures, like stock certificates, or government documents that are not stock certificates, but nonetheless have many security features on them so they can't be easily forged.
Keep that term stock in mind. My original birth certificate was printed by Thomas De La Rue Company, and check out what they do. From humble origins as printers and stationer, De La Rue has expanded into the world's largest commercial banknote printer with a global presence and customers who includes governments, central banks, and leading brands.
Again, same thing. Banknotes similarly have security features on them, so they can't easily be forged or counterfeited. So it's a company that specializes in secure documents that have specific security features. Yep, that doesn't mean all of the things they produce are the same thing.
i.e. they print stock certificates. Now, here's where the banking terminology starts to come in. Book reference. Registrar. A corporate agent appointed to perform the function of authenticating issues of stocks and bonds, and thus to prevent overissue of spurious bonds or stocks. Now, when you go back to a birth certificate, you're going to find a state registrar. Now, if you think that's a coincidence, that's your problem. But let's continue.
Words have different meanings in different contexts. Weird.
Number 4 is residence. Obviously, there are more identifying factors on the birth certificate. However, I want to focus on these 4 factors. Reason being is because of the commercial nature of these 4. And in particular, we're going to read residence. Residence is a deceptive term as well. As defined in Black's Law Dictionary.
Which one? Oh, 9th edition. We're on 12th, I think? That's an old edition you're citing.
9th edition. Residence can mean the place.
Can mean as in there are other meanings. There are usually many meanings under words, even in a law dictionary, if it's as broad as residence.
It's where a corporation or other enterprise does business or is registered to do business. All of these factors go into the fact that the name on the birth certificate is a corporation/artificial person or strawman that you volunteer as surety for throughout your whole life because you assume that it is you.
He's literally citing a sovereign citizen book. Once again, this is an interesting rhetorical tool because I don't know how often I see this. Someone cites a book and it's a shit source, but because it's a book, they think it gives them credibility because anything written in print in a book is legitimate as compared to the internet. That's interesting. Huh.
For tax purposes, most businesses must have an identifying number. This is called Tax Identification Number, or TIN for short. For the registered entity on the birth certificate is typically assigned a Social Security number, which is that registered entity's tax identification number. That registered entity or strawman is that one that has the same name as you, except it's in all capital letters. A bond by legal and banking definitions is typically defined as a certificate or evidence of indebtedness. Now, let's look at the definition of issue under UCC 3-105. Issue means the first delivery of an instrument by the maker or drawer, whether to a holder or non-holder, for the purpose of giving rights on the instrument to any person.
I like the nefarious music he put behind this, too, to make it sound really legit what he's saying.
Instrument means
I'd like to put some D'Souza behind it.
Negotiable instrument. And if you look at a birth certificate, it's always going to have an issue date. Now let's talk about the Social Security number, because the following code is from the General Procedures of the Social Security Administration, and it details exactly who can be assigned a Social Security number. 20 CFR Section 422.104, who can be assigned a Social Security number.
Alright, I'm moving on. That's too TikTok-y for my particular tastes. Too much of a millennial for this TikTok stuff. Try this one.
What case are you here on?
No, we did that one. I remember seeing the book with the Freemason logo.
Okay, let's go to the Blackshshire matter. Shaina Marie Blackshshire. Date and time set for sentencing, and this is in CR 22209.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Caleb Wagner on behalf of the state.
This is the time set for sentencing. Good.
Excuse me, how you doing?
No, I'm talking now. Listen
Okay.
to me. Is your true name and your complete name Shaina Marie Blackshshire?
The court lack jurisdiction over
Nah, nothing new from Taquan that I found interesting. He did a live stream that's maybe interesting, but it's like 2 or 3 hours long, and I haven't had a chance to go through it to get timestamps if he says anything interesting.
The subject matter.
What is your date of birth?
The court lacks jurisdiction over the subject matter.
The court will
We're at sentencing, and she's still on this? She must have been doing the sovereign citizen stuff from arraignment all the way through. Oof.
accept the court, based upon a verdict by the guilty in this case.
Yeah, Taquan's the fraud guy.
The court lacks jurisdiction over personal addiction.
As a result of a jury trial, the court finds the defendant is guilty in CR 22209. Count 1, unlawful flight from a law enforcement vehicle, a Class 5 felony. This is in violation of ARS 28624C, ARA.
Y'all cannot force me to get sentenced.
Yes, I can. ARS 28622, ARS 28622.01, A1, 28624C, 283001, 283304, 283305, 283315, 13701, 702, and 801. The date of the offense was on or about February 5th, 2022. The offense is non-dangerous, and I'm finding it non-repetitive for reasons I'll state on the record. Count three, that she is guilty of count 3, criminal damage, a Class 1 misdemeanor. It's in violation of ARS.
I wonder if she went through a competency hearing, because usually sovereign citizens that are more in touch with reality than this at least know to shut up during the sentencing. This concerns me that she's so disconnected that it's like a level of genuine, like she needs help. I don't know, though.
13-1602A1, 13-1601, 13-707, 13-802. And she's also guilty of count 4, burglary in the second degree. This is a Class 3 felony in violation of ARS 13-1507A, 13-1501, 701, and 702, and 13-801. The date of the offense was on or about February 5th, 2022. Judgment of the court that she's guilty of count 5, resisting arrest, a Class 6 felony in violation of ARS 13-2508, A1, 13-701, 702, and 13-801. The date of the offense was on or about February 5, 2020.
Excuse me, advisor. Why are they allowed to do such things?
2022. The offenses are non-dangerous and non-repetitive. The reason I'm finding them, is the microphone off, Louis, by the way? Turn it on.
Excuse me, that's illegal. Y'all can't
All right.
do that.
No, that's on now. Turn
Yes,
it on.
it is, Justin.
All right. So the offenses are non-dangerous.
Personal jurisdiction over my
I'm finding them
Why you allowing that?
I'm finding you're your own lawyer. He's not your lawyer. He's nothing can do it. I'm finding that they're non-repetitive because I believe that these cases, all of the charges in this case and in CR 2022-208, which is the prior case for which the defendant was convicted, these cases all of those charges could have been brought together and tried together, but they weren't. I'm not criticizing the decision. It is what it is. It happened for independent reasons, but I'm finding that they are not repetitive. All right. So, Mr. Wagner, do you want to be heard on behalf of the state?
I do, Your Honor.
I refuse to proceed.
And if the victims wish to be heard, we have victims here in the courtroom, a victim, I think, I'm not sure.
No, Your Honor, she's
No.
outlasted the victim.
She's outlasted the victim. Do you wish to be heard?
The victims have had to return back to their homes in Oregon, and they're not here, which is a detriment to them. They had as much a right to be here as she did for sentencing, but she is her own attorney, and she's drugged us out long enough that the victims aren't here to give a statement today.
Right, so y'all can't do that. Y'all cannot force me. Y'all can't sentence me like this.
Like, she clearly needs something, right? Like, I understand that it's just, like, if you're getting sentenced for anything, there's a certain percentage of people who are just not going to psychologically handle that well, and are going to freak out, because it's their freedom being taken away, you know? But, like, she's on the level that I feel like she is detached from the situation. She's usually on some level there'll be a certain level of acquiescence to the reality of the situation. Like, yeah, this sucks, but I'm surrounded by police. I am in the courthouse. I am being sentenced. Me yelling and screaming and doing whatever is going to do nothing. So why do it, you know? She doesn't seem to be aware of that, or doesn't have the impulse control, and that, to me, implies some level of detachment from reality, and that's always a case to some extent for sovereign citizens, but this is more so. Like, she needs help.
Ms. Blackshshire, I believe that these are repetitive and that she should be subject to the Category 2 repetitive offender statutes. She committed these crimes. She was taken into custody for the first crimes, the 208, Your Honor. She was taken into custody for 208. She made bond and was released on bond. And then she committed these separate offenses while on felony pretrial release.
I just want to make clear, to save your words, I do intend to impose the enhancement of 2 years for the crimes being committed while on release. So I just want to...
All right, thank you.
If there was any confusion about that, I wanted to straighten it out. I apologize for interrupting you, but I thought it was something to clarify up front.
This is illegal.
I believe that it's more than warranted. She was sentenced. Those were separate cases. She was released from those cases, and she committed the new cases.
Holy shit, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 deputies. I know you can only see 3 in your shot. Mine's a little wider than yours. There are 6 deputies there. There's 3 off to the right slightly, too.
Not only did she commit these crimes separately from the other crimes, these crimes significantly, especially the burglary, I believe substantially affected the victim. The victim, the owner of the property at Morningstar Ranch. Yes, she was burglarized before. No real property was taken from there. As you heard, you sat through both trials. But in this case, in this burglary here, count...
I don't have to proceed with this. Move. I don't have to.
Count 4, Your Honor.
Let me out now.
The defendant confronted the victim at her home and has substantially affected the way the victim feels about her safety and security at the home, which I think is very important, Your Honor, to acknowledge that.
I'm sorry. I'm getting... What's that?
Are you going to allow
No, I'm talking to you. Why are you taking her up?
No.
You're not? Okay.
But I don't want to be in here.
Staying in.
Requested to leave.
Oh, you're bringing the chair in. Okay, that's fine. I apologize, Mr.
No,
That's fine, Your Honor.
I was getting signals from the defense.
That's fine. I also would point out to the court that the unlawful flight from law enforcement...
I stand by. Apparently they're going to restrain her and bring her back in.
As to the resisting arrest.
A class 5 case are alleged to have occurred, I believe, on February 5th, 2022.
And then she's restrained
So the events
for the
that
rest
happened
of
at the Morningstar Ranch that were the subject of 22208 for every 7 days of the...
What else do we have? What's Russell J Gould doing? I won't read this whole disclaimer again because we don't have all day.
Postmaster Hello, I'm Russell J Gould, Postmaster General of our world, Comptroller of the global currency,
Comptroller of the global currency,
Commander-in-Chief of the U.S. military, armed forces, as well as Chief Judge of the U.S. Supreme Court, as well as Chief Judge of the Federal-Postal Court. I'm talking to you today about the clues of transitioning between the fact and the fiction, and the wonderful clues that are out here for us to see. Now, as many of you know or don't know, I have come out with a new documentary film about the things that I've been doing behind the scenes for the last 24 years, And you can go to lastflagstanding.com for an update on my story. But for those of you that are learning about me and watching these videos that I'm putting forward to share with you the clues of all the fakeness that we're seeing out here and how to transition our reality between fact and fiction so that we create a positive performance on the outcome of our lives. And
this guy, for those who aren't familiar with Russell-J. Gould, is a grifter. I don't think he believes this stuff. Just my personal opinion. This is a grift that he sort of took over from another guy, created this grift, but then he died. And this guy pretty much took over and sells conferences and stuff to sovereign citizens, claiming he knows a secret quantum grammar that can help them win any court case.
And the manifestation of that. And so these are some of the things that I'm going to share today about some of the things that we're seeing, not only in the fake presidential election of 2020 here in the United States, but as well as the pantomime globally put on by the military-industrial complex to thwart and steal our rights, lock us down in our homes, as well as simultaneously make us mask and take the essence and the love and the sharing of our breath of life with our fellow mankind. Please feel free.
I don't want to share in your breath of life during a pandemic. I think you should keep that breath to yourself.
To share this video with others as people learn, and you learn some clues today about the transitioning of the facts and looking at the fiction. So I'd like to say thank you very much, and you can go also to fortheclaimofthelife.com to get a claim of the life if you'd want it as you learn between fact and fiction. So with that in mind, I'd like to start moving forward today and looking at some of the dichotomies of the clues that are out here for our minds to wrap around, and for those that know about this, that we can share with others in the correctness and the truth so that you don't wrong lead people, because there's a lot of people that have learned about this and then that are wrong leading people with their choice of their own volition because they just don't have enough material background, or they're greedy, or have some vanity or some misconceptions in their mind about who's who and what the facts really are out here.
Schools, I recently announced that we're launching a new pro-American lesson plan for students called the 1776 Commission. We will teach our children the greatness and glory of America, if they don't know it. But, you know, they're not being taught that. They're being taught that we're not great.
As we watch this fake presidential election, we can see some of the clues that are out here. Now, whether Mr. Trump knows this or not is none of my knowing, but he is putting clues where he's putting a 1776 commission on teaching the children a history lesson so they remember where we come from or where they come from. Unfortunately for him, he's left out the clue of the 1775 filing. See, the United States was in bankruptcy when they filed under a domestic bankruptcy, which ran 7 years from 17.
The United States has never filed for bankruptcy. That's not a thing. Sovereign citizens say that occasionally. Not a thing. Sometimes they'll say it happened around the time of the Civil War. He's citing around the Revolutionary War, but I've heard it around the Civil War. I've heard it around the women's suffrage. I've heard it around the creation of the Fed and the Civil Rights Act.
1775, which takes you to 1782.
None of them are true, but basically which time period you say the United States stopped being the United States depends upon when in history you think things should go back to. Unfortunately, often it's racist people who don't want non-white people to have rights.
And then from 1782 takes you to 1789, where they came out with the Constitution of the United States. And when they came out with the Constitution of the United States, they registered into 70-year moratoriums for international bankruptcy, and the last one ended on November 2nd, 1999. And so you can go to lastflagstanding.com and get a background on that, which will take you into the law of the flag. So any bankruptcies that happened after 1999 that they're claiming, we know this to be a clue also as fakeness, because they did not have a flag to enter into contract to create a bankrupt or a banking contract. So this is also,
as we all know, you can't have a contract without a flag.
Part of the fake.
When I signed my mortgage contract, I had to get a cool flag designed. It's just me on a purple background Doing double thumbs up.
Pantomime that people are being misled into. But back to the Children's Commission of 1776. When you're looking at the 1776 Commission for Children, you're looking at giving them the concept of the illusion of freedom, because 1775 they'd already borrowed the notes, so they were in bankruptcy. So bankrupt people can't contract. So in 1776, when you gave you your Bill of Rights, they were already indebted. Debt, and when they're indebted, they can't give you rights. They can't give you freedom. So what they're wanting to do is teach the children in 1776 of a new paradigm where it's the illusion that they're gaining knowledge on freedom. It's the illusion that that you have some sort of rights. Simultaneously, it is a mirror of what is versus what is not. So we're going to look further into the eradication of history. Some of the things that they're doing with that is they're scrubbing statues, scrubbing high school.
Famously, where we learn about history is statues. That's always the weirdest for me, is when they're like, you're destroying history! It's a statue. Have you considered reading a book and finding out what statues are about? That'd be great.
School names, like in San Francisco, of Thomas Jefferson High School and all these different things, George Washington and all these people that they're eradicating. Well, why can the other side do that? The reason why they're saying they can do that, and they're not telling the people, of course, is because the United States Constitution and the joinder of that concept of the people who wrote that document ended in 1999. So it's kind of a spoof on the American people. The joke's on you, you didn't know, sort of thing. And, you know, most people won't complain about it until the tanks come down their front driveway, and then they'll be like, wait a minute, this is what Eisenhower was talking about. But we'll get into that into a later segment here in this closure that you're getting today.
We're looking at over 220 million Americans who just in the last several months died. We're looking at over 220 million Americans who just in the last several months died.
Mass, half recovering and half getting worse. We can't continue. Half wearing masks and half rejecting signs. We can't continue. Half with a plan and half just hoping for the best.
Jesus Christ.
Wear a mask.
Joe Biden sounded a lot different before he got COVID. God damn, he's aged in the past 2 years.
In public. Period. Period. Wear a mask.
These numbers that these politicians say, 220 million people dead, and all these nonsensical...
This is about COVID.
Fables that they tell us.
Oh, he doesn't believe the death numbers from COVID. Great.
Then they say a statement, and then they take back the statement, and yet the statement's still asserted in your mind, or they then come in with another statement to reaffirm the statement that they took back. So this goes on over and over and over again. And how does this work? Well, unfortunately, because there is no Constitution in the United States, because that...
There is. It's the Constitution of the United States.
Joinder of that banking contract ended in 1999. This is how they're locking you down in your homes, because it is all rogue, put on by the military-industrial complex. And
Sir, didn't you say you're the head of the military? You said you're the commander-in-chief, so why you doing that then?
The post office to enslave your right of the travel. You have no rights of the travel anymore. I mean, we have to come out of our denial of knowing, because not only it's here in the United States, but it's a worldwide phenomenon. But I placed a solution on the table in 2001 when I took over the Universal Postal Union and all shipping lanes on the planet. What that means for your country in Australia or Ireland or Scotland.
Yeah, she misspoke. I assume she was trying to say 220,000 at that point, and accidentally said million.
Your country...
I don't know, though. I'm not familiar with the context of the clip.
...is in the same shipping lanes in joinder with the Universal Postal Union. But the construct and the charters for the Universal Postal Union were found to be 100% fraud by me in 2001. I syntexed those charters, putting a new charter in place, allowing the citizens to now get claims of the life, which you can get a claim of the life for the claimofthelife.com, And they now have a new sea lane that they can be on, keeping the outside world of fiction out of
It's lying. He's a liar, Jay's a proxy, in my opinion.
their lives. How that works is because your country, wherever you are in the world, is enjoinder for shipping through the post office. This has always been a shipping war, and our ability to claim ourselves and find ourselves in time and space. This is what all the wars are over, is the manipulation of time. The quantum grammar puts the syntax of communication in a now space control for the sovereignty of the people.
A now space control agreement for the sovereignty of the people. That's grade A word salad. Colon void of the guidelines, comma, make it hyphen it hyphen up hyphen as hyphen you hyphen go comma versus comma stop ampersand colon correct ampersand colon open bracket ad add close bracket mit hyphen fakeness period.
When someday I leave, whether it's in 4 years, 8 years, 12 years, 16 years.
Now, I'd like to share some more concepts. Let me shift back to the United States and this fake pantomime of the fake presidential election. And they say things in there like, you'll hear one candidate and he'll say that, hey, I'm going to run for another 12 years or 16 years. Well, why can you? And he's joking about that. Well, the joke's on all of you. The reason why...
Because he's a narcissist that thinks he's entitled to ultimate power for existing.
He can say that is there are no guidelines to run for president.
There are. They're in the Constitution that exists.
Is a...
I forget which amendment adds the term limits for president, but it's in there.
Spoof, a theater...
Thank FDR for that one. FDR, nearly the GOAT. Fortunately, the internment camps keep me from calling him the GOAT. Some pretty good stuff in there. New Deal, excellent. Excellent stuff. Not so much Executive Order 66. Not great. Or 600, whatever it is. Order 66 is Star Wars.
Ken and Barbie...
Executive Order 6 something, because I know Order 66 was named after the actual thing that happened with internment camps.
That's
how my AP World History teacher taught us about it.
Spelled out right in front of you guys, so that the people buy into it thinking it's really cool, but then the reality is he can say that because there are no guidelines for a president of the United States. Let's talk about a few things that this gentleman has done during his positioning, like dividing the world by placing up a wall. Well, let me think about that for a second. It looks like one thing where he's keeping people out, but there's two sides to this wall. Now, since there's a fence there, how are you going to get out?
I'm not locked in. I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me.
When the tanks come rolling up.
Order 9066, thank you.
When they go to force vaccine you. This is the very thing that Eisenhower was warning us about with the military-industrial complex.
I really don't think it was. I don't think that's what he was talking about even a little bit.
Simultaneously, you hear one candidate talking about Operation Warp Speed. Well, has anybody looked at the Board of Governors for the Operation Warp Speed? Every single person on the Board of Governors and every single shareholder for those corporations that are going to be moving the vaccines through the material readiness and logistical support arm of the United States Army to come in and force vaccinate you, they are with the military-industrial complex, which means they are career military personnel.
Okay. I'm sorry. I had so much of a full fill of anti-vax stuff during those years. I just can't with it anymore. I don't even want to engage with anti-vax stuff. It just makes me so frustrated. Man pulls over cop and tries to arrest her. What? I don't know if this is a Sobset thing, but... Oh, that's dangerous. Don't get out of your car like that during a traffic stop and point at the cop.
Stay in your car. Stay in your car. Okay. It's wallet
Put your hands up.
28.
He told the cop to put her hands up.
Trying to arrest me?
She's laughing at him. I'm arresting you and you're laughing.
Roll the window down. Roll the window down. Roll the window down. Then two. You can just attach the wallet. Why are you stopped in the middle of the road?
I'm trying to get you to pull over. You wouldn't listen.
For 10-2, can you attach wallet to my call? You cannot stop in the middle of the road.
I'm trying to get you to pull over.
Okay, roll the window down. Give me your driver's license.
Oh, did he run? No, he couldn't have. She walked away way too casually, right? Okay, no, he did run. She just let him go and caught him later, which is probably the responsible thing to do if you already have his, like, information from his license plate. You don't need to do a high-speed chase. You can probably pick him up later.
There's nothing wrong, you guys. What the hell? No, don't worry. Shh. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Hey. Don't worry, everybody. Congress will know. Don't worry.
Okay, that's gotta be another mental illness thing, because he's saying Congress will know about this? Ugh.
Worry, I'm alright.
We really need to figure out mental health care in this country. Like, if you have a family member that's, like, just gone mentally, and you need help for them, ugh.
Right now, if I end up dead tonight, it's I know, everybody knows. I'm gonna ask for a lawyer. Alright, everyone, I gotta go. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Take it easy.
Appreciate you coming out so easy.
No problem. No problem. Oh, that's fine, sure.
Explain everything to you.
Oh, no, I want a lawyer right now.
All right, ask me any questions.
I want a lawyer right now.
You make some phone calls when we get to the station, okay?
I want a lawyer. What station?
Fox Lake.
And then they're going to take me to McHenry, Lake County.
Correct.
I know. I want my lawyer.
Okay, that's fine.
So don't worry, okay, hon? I love you too.
Do you need any phone numbers? Or do you have your phone with you that you can...
I don't have no phone on me.
Do you need to get phone numbers from
No, I don't need no phone number.
Attorney?
No. I'll ask for an attorney in front of the judge.
Okay, that's fine.
Right now, I want an attorney.
Okay.
Do you want anything from the house, though? Or anything to leave here?
No, like what?
Anything that you have on you that you want?
No, you can search me. I don't have no weapons.
When the car comes, we'll do that in
I hope he got some help or something, and the the justice system wasn't too bad, because he's got something going on. Oh... Trying to see if there's anything quick I can do for a cleanse or anything. Problem is he doesn't want help. Yeah. Could have ended poorly, yeah. I'm glad it at least seemed he was willing to go with them calmly, and the cops took him calmly and didn't escalate the situation. That's good. Let's see what Sausage Guy is up to, and then we'll call it a night. Oh no!
Well, hey there, folks, and welcome back.
No, that's 5 minutes. I want something shorter.
It's that time
Those
of
Coke
year.
Oreos give me a headache.
You're all
Would not recommend the Coke Oreos.
ready. 15 minutes.
The Oreo Coke is okay.
pumpkin, 30-minute pumpkin, 1 hour pumpkin. This time we're putting in the pumpkins in before the oil. This is 1 gallon of vegetable oil, and I only pray that it's enough. We got some free-floating pumpkins going on here. Well, I'll start the official
Have fun at
timer
D&D, Trey.
as soon as I start hearing some sizzling. All right, we're getting some bubbling over here. All right, I'm gonna start the timer. Time's up for one of them. All right, we got our 15-minute pumpkin here, and it's a little bit soft. And as for the taste, it's pretty good at 15 minutes.
I was gonna say that might actually be delicious.
It could use like 5 more minutes before it's perfectly cooked. I feel like these could explode at any second. Well, for sure the 30-minute pumpkin looks sad. That looks like a fully cooked pumpkin. Are pumpkins related to tomatoes? Because these smell exactly like tomatoes. Give it a taste. Oh, it's a lot sweeter.
Night, Amber. Have fun at D&D.
Sweeter and mushier. Skin just melts right off that one. Oh my God! Well, today I learned pumpkins don't explode when you fry them. 1 hour pumpkin is almost uncuttable. The good news is you can easily get the seeds out of it. Now for the taste test. It's even sweeter than the 30-minute pumpkin. Doing it for 20 minutes off.
I honestly thought this was going to be disgusting. I don't think this seems bad. it's a lot of oil to go through, don't get me wrong. But maybe an idea for like a Halloween party? Little deep-fried pumpkin? I don't know.
All the way to 30 minutes, I think, is your best option.
I like pumpkin, though, so if you don't, I guess I get that, but I don't know.
And you can probably boil them instead of deep frying them to save on, $15 of vegetable oil. The 15-minute pumpkin, I'd give like a 3 out of 5. The 1 hour pumpkin, I'd give like a 2 out of 5. But the 30-minute pumpkin, I would give a 4 out of 5.
Bop, 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 bop. I'm surprised by that one. Not bad. Alright, let's see who we're gonna raid on Twitch. Remember, tomorrow we are doing our super long tinfoil day. Basically, like, from noon until evening, we're gonna be doing tinfoil. So definitely come hang out for that. It's gonna be fun. I know people aren't necessarily gonna stay all day. Although, if you do, very fun. I'd love to hang out with you. But, hopefully at least you can pop in and out throughout the day and see what we're up to. Should be fun. So get ready for a tinfoil extravaganza tomorrow. Let's see who we're gonna raid. I'll raid AF Logan. Alright, have a great night, everyone. I will see you tomorrow for our tinfoil-a-thon. If I don't see you, have a great weekend. All right. See y'all soon. Love you, Mr. Blast. Bye.